whoever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you would.
Y'all, what is going on? We have got to talk about Cory. Y'all know we've been following the story. And last night, the interview went on Storm and Rose channel, and then it went on Wally's channel. And now the girl was just over on Sean Davy Wade's channel. I'm confused. And I want to talk to y'all about it because what is going on? This is why I did the video I did the other day. So let's go ahead and take care of the business of this channel before we jump into this, y'all. If you want to join my tribe, please step by my side. Go ahead and subscribe. Turn on your notification. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you turn on all so you get notified every time I go live. Like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section to keep me in the algorithm. I'm going to play the intro, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to get started. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, I am back. Let me say what's up to everybody that's in the chat. What is going on, Patricia? Hey, Protect My Energy. What's going on, Miss Reed? Hey, Sonia. What's going on, DV? Cindy. I'm going to try my best. What's going on, Big Sis Speaks? What's going on, Just Simply? Hey, Pam. What's going on, Miss C Platinum? What's going on, all the reads? Okay, so I did not see the lives that happened last night. I did get to watch Sean Davy Wade's channel. I did post his link into my community tab. So if you guys want to see what was going on, maybe you can figure out what we just watched, because they're still over there trying to figure out what they watched as well. Again, I just want to say that I feel a little weird about this whole conversation. Shout out to my Big Sis Speaks for upgrading your membership to level 2. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Tamiko says, hey, Dad, what's going up? What's going on, Tamiko? Sonia said, why so much with this Cory guy? I don't know. I think this is why I made the live the other day. Basically saying like we're just jumping to these conclusions when it comes down to Cory. And now we have a neighbor who's not really a neighbor, because from according to her, she lived 4 blocks away. But her friend lived across the street of this boy who was 16 years old, who Cory was staying with. And she's alluding to some things that to me is very unfair, unless there are facts to this. And from what we've heard right now, this man has not spoken up and said anything like this has happened. And I don't think you expose anybody's information like that, especially when it comes down to what she's alluding to. Sean did a really good job with the interview as to trying to get her to clarify some things. But I think because she did Wiley's show and she did the interview with Storm Monroe, and there's still another part that you have to pay for on Storm's channel, that she's not really saying a lot of things. But then it was also kind of confusing because it seemed like she was upset that Storm was making people pay for it. But then she was saying she didn't want people to pay for it because it made it look like she was just going on a clout chasing tour. And I think I'm saying clout chasing tour, but basically she didn't want y'all to pay for something when she really wasn't saying nothing. If that makes sense, which it don't make no damn sense to me. And some of these things will destroy person. Exactly. These people better stop having just anybody on their platforms. Yeah, well, from what I got from Storm, and shout out to Conscious TV because I saw his live earlier with Storm as well. So Storm kind of cleared it up, but he was also saying that he wasn't mad at the girl for going over to Wiley's channel because I guess he was taking too long to get his video together. And so he wasn't mad at Wiley for doing it because the girl contacted him. And then when Sean was talking about it earlier, she was in his chat. So then she contacted Sean. And so now we're here. And she's told a lot of stories. There's a story about Missy Elliott that's going around that she hasn't really said nothing. There's a story about Diddy. There's a bunch of stories that she's telling because I guess she was a part of the industry, but now she's out of it and she's a stay-at-home mother or something like that. I don't really think I learned anything. The only thing that I did learn, y'all, was remember when I was doing my live the other day and I was trying to get on Cory's Instagram. And I was like, y'all, he must have took his Instagram down. Cory blocked me off of Instagram. And I think a lot of it was because from what I know, because I didn't see anybody at the time when I went live, no one had talked about that their divorce besides me at the time, from what I know. Now I know YouTube is huge, but at that time I was the only person who had went live at the time. So I went through my other Instagram page while they were on the live because they were saying that Cory had blocked Wiley. And when I went to my other Instagram, I could see his page. So when I go back to my SoDebNair page, it still says that the page doesn't exist. So he blocked me. So that was the only thing I really learned from the live. It seems like a lot of underlying issues that are going on with the situation. What's going on, Chef Don Don? We're all confused at this point. This is some confusion that we probably didn't really need. I don't even know. This, when we asked, and I think I'm guilty of this. I just asked this the other day when I was live. I'm like, you got to give us a little bit more because we don't understand what's going on. Now it seems like I understand why, because now we have someone going on people's lives, telling a story, and we don't know what to believe. It seems Cory's blocking lots of bloggers now. He must have been, because I'm telling you, y'all, and the story, when the story came out that morning, I logged on and I talked about it, and I was trying to get on because I was trying to see if he had made any comments, because we read the ones from Tia's page, we read the ones from the Neighborhood Talk, and I went to his page and I couldn't pull it up. And I remember Cindy C was like, no, his page is still up, because I'm looking at it. She screenshotted it. Hey, lovely 31 Blueprint. And I couldn't get on, but he blocked me. I didn't tag him in anything or nothing like that. I agree. Confusion we don't need. Right. Like, I think that we should let them go through this. And that's why I went back and I even made the video saying, this is probably hard for the both of them. And, I kind of retracted some of my things. I still feel like, watching them, I never really seen the love between them, but that's my own personal opinion. I've been saying it before the divorce announcement was made. And then she was also going on about Tia picking him up from the bus stop, which we had already talked about that over here because I had already heard that. But she was saying that Tia didn't pick him up from the bus stop on the movie set. She picked him up from the neighborhood where he lived in the house from the boy that was 16 years old. And that when she was riding past him, I guess Tamara was in the car with her, and that Tamara was the one who liked Cory, but somehow Tia ended up dating him. And I'm like, I'm literally mind effed at this time. Like, what is going on? You know? I think Cory, I know he probably didn't want to see all of the blogs and the YouTubers talking about it, but I think he shouldn't have blocked them because had she only done that one interview, this could have came off as facts to people, like, oh, well, he is blocking people from talking about it. Woo, child, that says something. I'm telling you, it's a lot. And it makes him seem like he's bothered by it, but which he probably is, but it just kind of validates some people who have a mind frame of believing because there must be some truth to it because now he's blocking people. I'm like, I don't even know what to think right now, to be honest. Those were mostly those were the keynotes from the live. Again, Sean did an amazing job with asking questions. She just wasn't like directly really answering anything. And so it makes her look like she's not credible. So even if she's telling the truth, it doesn't. And I still feel like this story about the 16-year-old was something that she should have let him tell, or kept it to herself because no one's speaking out on it. And then she was trying to get the girl who actually lived across the street to call in, which I'm assuming she's going to call on Sean's channel at some point because she had got down because her and one of Sean's subscribers kind of got into it on the panel. But this is sad because it brings you back to, the original conversation that we were having the other day about not jumping the gun on this conversation, on the situation. Shaby says, where there's smoke, there's fire. Yes. And, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But I don't know. I'm going to drop the link too. So if y'all want to come up here, let's figure this out together. And I'm a firm believer in that, Shaby, where there's smoke, there's fire. But I don't know if she she's speaking in like Dr. Seuss riddles. So it's almost like, why even say anything? And then it's like, do you wait? I don't like, are you going to pay for Storms to do it? Because she was saying that when she did the interview with Storm did a Google Maps search on the bus stop that Tia picked him up from and what the house looked like across the street. But I'm just like, well, what if people just knew? But how do we know that's the real house? How do we know that she doesn't know where he used to live? Like, it's just too many questions that are not answered. Something up because all of a sudden, yeah. Why didn't she tell this story? And I know this is really bad to say when it comes down to SA. But why did she wait all this time to start speaking out about this? They've been married, they've been together for 20 years. Hey, Cindy.
Hey. So what I can't get is, first of all, why was she so angry? Even when you don't like someone, I don't get angry. Like, if I don't like you, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to get so passionate and invested. And if you're going to say, insinuate some of the things that she was insinuating, where is the proof?
Right.
She needs to just talk about her experience.
We didn't see a piece of mail where she lived across the street from these people, which technically she didn't even live across the street because she said towards the beginning she lived 4 blocks away, but her friend lived across the street.
Exactly.
She was honest about the fact she never liked him. Then she said nobody liked him. Then in the middle of it, she said, well, there was like half the street liked him, and then the other half didn't like him. Then she said that the 16-year-old and his friends were like prominent people in the neighborhood, but after hanging out with Cory, they were like on drugs and they were getting arrested.
Right.
It was like a lot, and I'm like, how did Cory go into the neighborhood and do all this?
That's what I'm saying.
She basically, what was that show? Oh, on Housewives of Atlanta, when that girl came, when Todd got with Candy, and she was basically like that girl who came on and said that Todd was on the come up
Right.
because she was saying that I want to call him Todd. Um, she was saying that Cory was basically in the neighborhood to be on the come up, but I'm like, with a bunch of 14-year-olds
Right. And
and
again,
16-year-olds,
he's still a young man right now. So it's
right,
not like it was he was that much older. So 20 years old and he's struggling, doesn't so what? I mean, a lot of 20-year-olds struggle. You know what I mean?
right,
A lot of 20-year-olds have to try to make ends meet. That does not mean that he is a predator and going after anybody's kid. You know what I'm saying? That's what I didn't
right,
like that she was trying to insinuate. So the kid was 16, Cory was like 20, and Poe, which most, struggling actors, especially people of color, are
right,
in the
right,
beginning. So even if he did meet Tia and Tamara as a come up, so what? Let him come up. I mean,
right,
a lot of people would like to get out of a struggle situation. So who
right.
cares? And for her to go back and forth and kind of confuse me on the twins, saying that Tia's a liar, but so what? So even if they sharpened up their "this is how we met" story, doesn't
Right,
mean that she's a liar.
right,
Clearly, you're in the entertainment industry, so you have to make things look a certain way. I mean,
right.
no, everybody knows that. So, I
She
mean, that
seemed
means
like she
all
had
of.
a personal vendetta towards Tia.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I agree with that. And again, why hasn't she spoken in like 20 years? They've been together
Right,
forever, you know?
right.
So if she really felt like he was a horrible person, if and insinuating things may have happened, I would have told somebody immediately. So why now? Because they're getting
Right.
divorced.
And Nola, so Storm Monroe did an interview. I guess I don't know if he did his last night, and then he ended up having to take it down because allegedly Cory inboxed him lawsuit, and so he took it down and spoke with his lawyers. And this is what Storm said on Conscious TV channel, so y'all can go look at that. Um, and so he said he took it down because of that. And then the lawyer said that there was nothing that they could really do because it was the girl's story. They were just like, just make sure you don't like guide her through the interview.
Right.
So then Storm was taken, and I'm just going to recap this real quick for everybody who's just not tuning in. So then Storm, I guess, was taking too long to post the interview, and then she found out. Oh, because then she revealed this later on on Sean's too. So Storm was taking a long time to put the interview together because Storm was saying that he wanted to look like a production, basically. He
Right.
wanted to pull up the neighborhood and the bus stop that Tia picked him up from. You picked Cory up from. And so then, and then the lawyer had also told Storm to put the video behind a paywall so that it's public, but it's not as public where it gets everywhere. So when she found out that he was so at the end of the thing with Sean, then she started becoming angry about him doing the paywall thing. But she was saying basically because it was taking too long, um, she did the interview with Wiley. And she said she never reached out to any people. Somebody from her channel, because she has her own channel, was reaching out to these people to do these interviews. But then towards the end of it, she kind of got a little funky about the fact that Storm was going to like make people pay for this. And so she started saying that she didn't want people to think that basically Storm was making people pay for something that's not really nothing.
Right. Right. And I understand that point being made as well.
Yeah,
However, unless you're giving firsthand account of your personal experience, just her seeing him on the block is not enough for me for her
right,
to be to for her to be interviewed, in my opinion.
right.
Like that's not enough. Like what else? What else do
Well,
you have?
according to Storm, when he was talking on Conscience channel, he was saying, I'm responding to you and Ms. Reed at the same time. He was saying that he did kind of do like a fact check on the girl, whatever you call it, like a character check on the girl to make sure she was telling the truth. And Storm believed what she was saying. But I guess now because she's been over on Wiley's channel, people are kind of figuring out like, well, then what are people going to be paying for when it comes to Storm's channel, better production of the
Right.
interview, and then now she's over on Sean's channel telling the story. So it's like you got the story from Storm, and then Storm still put his together. So you went to Wally's channel, now you on Sean's channel.
Right.
What is left that we're going to miss out besides seeing the neighborhood that he lived in the bus stop?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I mean, it smacks to me, like you said earlier, of like a personal vendetta. I
Yeah,
don't understand why she would be channel surfing in what under one day, you
yeah,
know. So you're going from person to person, even if her followers are hooking her up with these people, she's still speaking on it,
right,
and really angry about it. And I and
right,
I I understand too from things that she said that she was victimized, and
hmm,
so I understand that level of anger for that industry and those kinds of people. But
right,
again, just talk about your experience. I just don't understand how it all cycles back to Cory.
yeah,
And Cory, also to be honest, it's annoying when these celebrities do exactly what he did, which is like blocking someone like you that would give him a fair shake.
yeah,
Out of a lot of these bloggers, and also that they try to act like when something personal is happening, they're no longer celebrities. Well, you were benefiting from it prior to your business being exposed, so now
true,
don't get mad about it. You know what I
true.
mean? When they
That's
do that.
true. And Nari says Stormy better be careful before he needs up like Tasha K. Now he spoke on this on Conscious Channel too. He was like, if they sue him, basically he gonna be like Tasha K. I ain't got it. So
All of you guys have the right to report on what's
right,
on the news. Are they
right,
are they going to sue Entertainment Tonight because they covered it? Are they
right,
going to sue Access Hollywood, TMZ? They covered it. So I mean, you can't sue everybody for telling the truth or talking about or having an opinion about your life.
right,
You can't. That's
right,
they signed up for this. That's the business that they signed up for.
right. And Sonny says, okay, confused here. Unless he's doing all this now while married, because it wouldn't bother me 20 years later.
Exactly.
Sean did ask her that, and she was saying something like it bothered her because of the the lying story that they told on OWN for the what was
Yeah.
the Black Love thing or
The
something.
Black Love show.
Yeah, she was saying that it bothered her that they were telling a lie about how they met, and she goes into the Hotia and Tamara's story with the boy and what bus stop he got picked up at. I'm like, regardless of what bus stop he got picked up at a bus stop. Like, I mean, does it really
Right.
matter?
It doesn't matter. And it's especially doesn't matter when it doesn't affect you. Like what did he do to her?
Right.
You
It
know,
seems
I
like
mean,
maybe she
talk
liked him
about
or
that.
something, and then he turned her down and got with Tia.
That's what Sean Davy Wade was asking her. He asked her flat out, and she was just like, "No." She was like, I don't like any bum," and she
Oh
considers
yeah,
him to be a bum, and I get that. But why are you so angry about it? Is my question. Like she wouldn't
yeah.
really explain what was the problem other than the fact that she did not like him. But ma'am, you are talking about a public figure. You have no proof of them doing anything other than them staying with someone and being poor at one point.
Right.
And that was so long ago. Why talk about it now? What is the purpose?
Well, it seemed like her purpose was to basically say that he was on the come up the entire time, and then when he got with Tia, he hit the jackpot. And I did say something similar to that, when I was reporting on it. But I'm not saying I lived across the street or 4 blocks away, and these are facts.
Right.
I was just giving
Right.
my opinion on what I thought.
Exactly. But I mean, we all of us. I mean, the people that are not blind can see that was what happened, and they never really kind of covered that up. So what is the problem? So what?
Right,
He came up.
right.
Women
Isn't that
do
what
it
you're
all the
supposed to do?
right. That's what you're supposed to do. And guess what? If I'm poor and I'm living, in a place that I don't want to be living at, and Denzel drove up and said, "I'm going to take you away," I'd be like, "Sure, let's go." Like,
I don't
what are
care.
you
I
supposed to
wouldn't care if you
do?
picked me up at the homeless shelter. I mean, I'm leaving.
Thank
So
you. I mean, I just feel like, women do it all the time. So why would Corey be any different? I just
right,
feel like,
right,
and they've been married so long that it's kind of like, is it really still an issue? It's not like
right,
he, just got with her, got her pregnant, and then, dumped her or whatever. He
right.
stayed in that relationship. She's the one that filed. He would have still been in that relationship. So, I don't understand what her point is. What is the point?
I think the funniest part of it was when towards the end of it when she dropped down and then and one of his subscribers came up and she said something about it sounds like the kids in the neighborhood didn't want to play with her, but they want to play with Corey.
Right.
Baby, she got back up on that platform so fast to cuss that girl out.
But that's exactly what it feels like, because I'm just trying to
Right,
figure out what is the problem. Maybe they just didn't like you, and like
right.
I told you, before this, I don't like her. I don't like
Yeah,
anybody that is going to try to invade someone's privacy when you have no proof. Now, if she had some receipts, great, but
right,
instead of trying to say you just don't like him because he was lazy and he can't, he used her to come up and all of this stuff, they turned around and talked to him. Okay,
right,
so clearly one of them, and I'm assuming it's Tia, saw something that she liked and that she wanted, and she
right.
could get it. So I don't understand, where's the lose part.
And she
What is the
must have
lose
liked it
part?
because she put a ring on it. So
Yes, and had two kids that she really
right.
fought hard for, because Cairo. I know she had such a difficult time trying to conceive another child. She
Mhm.
had some health issues that she needed to correct, and she corrected, and they have another child. But so she really fought for that baby. So if she really felt like he was just using her, she was using him too. She got
Right.
her
That's
family.
true. That's
So
true.
I just don't. Again, I just feel like, don't try to now come in and repaint a narrative. Yes, she's an actress. Her and her sister have never been in any mess, in anybody's mess. So
Mhm.
why is she trying to start with them now?
Right.
I
I
don't, I
agree
don't get
with
it.
you. Nola Reese
Mhm.
said if Tia didn't care that he was down, why does she? That what we that's
Right.
we're all trying to figure that
That's
out.
what we're saying. We're trying to figure that out, because I'm just like, and
Right.
and also, Nola, if it's 20 years later,
Right.
so it's not like it's even current that she's having a gripe about. What is the problem? You
Right.
know?
Miss Reese says, sorry, I just can't stand clout chasers or people that encourage that mess. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
what's the point of all this? Yeah. I think
I agree, Miss
honestly,
Rissy.
to be honest, one thing I do like about Sean is that Sean does try to get some kind of clarity about stuff.
Yes.
As far like even when he does like his pre-record stuff, because he kind of digs up, information. I think that's what Sean was doing, with this interview, because it's like, well, what are we getting? And I think I didn't hear what I didn't hear anything else she did besides on his channel, but the
Right.
questions that he was asking were valid questions. It's like, well,
Were valid.
I heard this part of it, but are you saying that this happened? And she would never like confirm nor deny what she was saying.
Exactly.
All she was saying, well, if you're making a conclusion, then what do you think? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, girl, that's some serious shit.
Right.
Don't
Exactly.
don't leave it up to us to think about it because we didn't live 4 blocks away. You know what I'm saying?
And also, and well, she also said that her best friend that lived across the street, she was there all of the time, but you
Yeah.
weren't in the house with Corey. So I can look across the street and see my next door neighbor or the buildings across from me. I
Well,
have no idea what's going on with them
she said
inside.
something about she said something about her being on the balcony looking through the window or something.
So what it so okay, you were on the balcony on the window. What proof do you
Because
have? What happened?
she was saying something about the 16-year-old boy's mother working overnight and that Corey slept upstairs in the boy's room on a couch.
Okay. What does that prove? It proves that he's poor. Did I miss something so dead? Like, what does that prove? Like,
I'm like, are she going to go farther into him, like getting into the bed after the like I was waiting for the rest of it.
for the rest of it too, and that was my problem with her. And then when Sean, I never watch his channel, but when he asked her flat out several times, she would just go quiet.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of like, so why would you try to level those kind of accusations on someone that you have not seen or spoken to just because your friend group, how she kept phrasing it, my friend group, he messed up my friend group. But how, something can only be messed up if you allow that to be messed up. So maybe she messed up the friend group by not liking him and they liked him. What is the
yeah.
problem? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Or maybe her friend across the street, like the 16-year-old boy, and maybe Corey drew a wedge between them. Like I'm just
I'm
trying to
trying
make
to
some
figure
sense
out.
out of it because it
Me
doesn't make
too.
sense.
It does not make sense. And the motive of that.
Yeah,
What are you trying to say with all of this?
yeah,
What I'm trying to figure out, other than the fact that it's clear we all got it. She said it numerous times, very, very angry. I don't like him.
yeah. She
Okay.
doesn't like him because he's a bum and he
But
was
now
poor.
he's not. You're right,
Right.
but now he's not. And even if he had got him those roles, she was happy to do it, or she wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Because she was like, well, he was only on Sister or whatever the show, the game or whatever he was on, because of her. So what? A lot of spouses do work with their people. Who
Oh, yeah.
cares?
That was something else that she said because she was saying that they was telling the story on the Black Love show that
Uh huh.
they were on the same set because they were in a movie together, and she picked him up from the bus stop on the set, and she was like, "But we've never seen the movie, that movie or something like that." She was like, "But then later on, she said the movie didn't come out for like 5 years later." I'm like, "Well, that could happen."
Right. That
So,
does happen. That does happen in Hollywood or the entertainment business all of the time.
right?
All of the time. Just like,
Yeah.
just for example, like Spice, from Love and Hip Hop, she
Hmm.
was saying that her album was on the shelf for like 10 years. That's very
Mm.
common. Very common. So don't now act like, well, we didn't get to see the movie. And again, even if he's working with his wife, who cares?
Cares, right?
I mean,
Who
I just
cares?
feel like, yeah, there's so many couples that do work together and enjoy working together. I
Yeah.
mean, and it doesn't mean that you know, that person's one of them is a
Niecy
loser.
Nash is working on a show right now with her wife.
Yes, it
So
happens all of the time.
yeah,
So
and
I
I
just
think
don't
she's a
understand.
she's a musician.
I thought she was an
But if you
artist,
marry
like a
somebody or you get in a relationship with somebody who wants to help you on the come up, there's
yes.
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what I was trying to get from her point. I just feel like, for her to be, as she said, a housewife, and clearly you heard one of her children in the background. I'm like, are you okay? Like, why are you? I was, I was just kind of like, I'm sorry, is it just me? Because shouldn't you be tending to your family? And she was like,
Right,
well, I'm a housewife. I have nothing but time. But you have nothing but time to be negative, to try
right.
to, shine, this horrible life, which she was insinuating on, because she was just like, well, I'm not here for like the slurs and the gay slurs and stuff like that. I'm like, but you are insinuating that's what he is. So
Right.
when
You're
Sean
insinuating
asked her,
something else. You're insinuating that he's a pedophile
right. So what proof does she have of that? Because he stayed at the house and the kid was 16
and he slept on the couch at the end of the boy's bed.
on the couch. Right. Now, if she had said, well, I don't want to reveal things that he told me, but there is
Right,
proof, then that would be something else.
right.
Then we'd be having a different conversation. But
But
that is
it
not
seems
what
like
she
she's
said.
trying to bait these people who interview her
Yes,
into saying things that she wants to put out there.
right. Instead
And
of
I'm
having
glad I'm
this is
glad that Sean didn't fall for the bait on that. Because he's like, I mean, girl, you know what we're thinking about. So I mean, if that's what it is, just say it. But she wouldn't say it.
right, exactly. I'm glad that he did say that too, because it also covers him, because it's kind
Yeah,
of like, well, we're trying to, any real interviewer, they're going to ask you these hard questions because you're saying that you have some sort of knowledge of someone, doing something bad, right?
right.
So I'm giving you a platform to say what those things are, and the only thing that you could say with any clarity is that I don't like them because I don't like any man that's a bum.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, Okay, but why are you doing 3 interviews in less than a day,
Yeah,
about someone's personal life when you have no proof of what happened in their personal life?
right.
And it was so long ago.
Yeah.
I don't
Miss
get
Reese says somebody needs to refer to betterhealth.com.
it.
And Nella said, also, if she's alleged he did something to the boy without his permission to tell his story, that's what I'm saying. That she's
Yes,
an up individual because, again, she's not even in contact with this boy anymore. So
right.
um,
And that's
it
what
just,
Sean basically said. Like he said, do
yeah,
you feel bad for telling his story for him? Would you
yeah,
apologize to him?
yeah.
But she really didn't say anything of the story other than he was in a house with Cory. So, I mean, what is the quote unquote story? It's a
But I mean,
bad
if you're
house.
walking people through this journey of his mother not being home at nighttime, he's sleeping in the bedroom, and he's on his couch in the bedroom, and the boys, I don't even know if she even said where the little boy was sleeping at. Like, it just,
In his
we know
room.
what you're alluding to.
Yes, exactly right.
And like,
And I
if you
mean,
want
I
to
just
walk
feel
us
like
upstairs, open up the door. You know what I'm saying?
right. And if the other boys on the block was hanging out with him playing video games and stuff like that, it sounds like a perfectly natural thing to do for 16-year-olds.
Yeah,
So where is the problem?
yeah.
He's not supposed to talk to any of the guys there that
And
wanted to hang out.
where was Corey at during the daytime when the mom got off work?
Right. I'm sure he was just at home. He wasn't working.
Yeah, he wasn't working. And so I'm sure, was he like, it just, I don't know. There's just too much space for, um, what is it?
Speculation.
Speculation. Yeah.
Yep.
That she's opening up these doors to, which is going to make this even worse.
Yep.
And one, I think the crazy part about it is that like Tia can't really speak out on it to
Yep.
have his back because that's before she knew him. Um, I don't really think that her clearing up what bus stop she picked him up from is going to be a thing. Um,
Right.
so
It all just seems so strange to me and so and it's so wrong. It's like to start a narrative, like, you can't say, and I know somebody said this earlier, yes, typically when there's smoke there's fire, but where's the smoke?
right.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Right now we just playing with matches.
exactly, right now we're just playing with matches, and then
And she's
some of the
trying to
smoke
start
would
a
have
fire,
been
but she can't. We don't have a fire. We don't have a fire for smoke because she's not even lighting the match.
she's not lighting the match. She's not giving any details other than the fact that she didn't like him. And
Yeah,
that I got. And again, and she's right. We don't have to all like the same people, even if in the media they're portrayed as sweethearts or whatever. There are
right,
people that you don't, that just may rub you the wrong way. You don't have to like them. But
right,
when you're talking about, you know, some of the allegations that she was insinuating, now that's a problem. You
right,
know, and it shouldn't matter how Tia met him. It's just like anybody else that we may have grown up with or seen when we were kids, and then all of a sudden we see them on TV. And then I'm talking about it like 20 years later. If I didn't have a relationship with that person, and I didn't really like them like that, it wouldn't even occur to me to talk about them. You
right,
know,
right.
so why would she?
And I think the other thing is that what she's alluding to, he has kids. Like
Yes.
that could really have him separated from his kids until they clear that up.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. And that's a problem. That's what I'm saying. Like when Tia was having these kids, like let's see, I forget how old her son is now, but wouldn't if you
I
were
think he's 11.
okay, so like 11 years ago, wouldn't you have been alarmed if he had a son and then you wanted to say something? I would have said something,
Yeah,
if I really felt that way about someone and I
right,
feel like, that maybe the kid is in danger. I would say something, but again,
right.
that is me. I just don't understand why now after a divorce is she coming back with this stuff
Yeah.
with no proof.
I mean, and like I said, I would get it if it was the boy coming out saying something. I mean, it takes time when you have been abused, but it's not even him. Like you're like 3 people removed from this boy.
Exactly. Exactly. And apparently spying with binoculars from a balcony somewhere at one
Right.
point. I'm
But
just kind of
and
like,
that part to me was concerning. Like, why are you 14 peeping through the neighbor's window?
like I just And I mean, what would make her think? I mean, maybe she was, and again, I don't know her story,
Hmm.
so I'm like, maybe she was abusive, maybe she was hypersensitive and thought it was weird.
Yeah.
But really, everything that she explained, it doesn't sound weird. It's not
Yeah.
like the man was 35 and had no way to make any money. He's 20. A lot of kids at 20 are still trying to figure out how to get money and what they're going to do and all of that. So I just don't feel like that's a smoking gun. And so what? He stayed in a room where with another boy. Does not mean that something happened.
Right.
Like
Right.
I don't know. I just don't like the narrative that she's trying to spin on an already uncomfortable situation. And again, if Tia had an issue with him, they wouldn't be liking each other's posts and putting
Right.
hearts and saying I love you if he was a horrible person or a horrible father. You
Right.
know, you don't even know him as a grown man at this point. So why are you
Right.
talking about it? Anyway, I'm confused and annoyed.
That may be where the mama told him to sleep.
Exactly.
She could have left him there because he was 20 and she had to work overnight too.
Right. Right. And she probably didn't want that man in her living room messing up her sofa or
Hmm.
or in her
True.
bed.
Right.
So it's kind of like, if you want to help somebody out, you have to follow the rules they tell you where to sleep. That's just how
Right.
how it works. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And why this woman is going on all of these shady people's channels as well is also a concern to me.
Well, it's about the numbers because I mean, to be honest, like I said, I think I was like one of the first people to even report on it. I think I seen after I got off that a few other people had did like they didn't even do lives, they just did like a pre-recorded video.
Yeah.
But she's going to these big numbers channels to tell this
Oh, are
story.
they?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't watch them, so okay.
Because I think Storm said he had like 31,000 people in this chat or something like that.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
no, 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 no. That was when he was saying that was when what's her name? Something China. Black China's mom was on his channel.
Oh, Tokyo
Yeah,
Tony.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
she's
he
but
had he
she's
had
but
like
she's
thirty
definitely been
thousand
going on.
people.
She's definitely looking at the numbers of the channels that she's going into the chat to get onto those platforms.
Mhm. I see. That's why I'm just kind of like, girl, what are you doing for real?
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like, I mean, maybe is she regretting not staying in that industry? It seems like, are you trying to get a little bit of shine? Because why do you have your channel? She said that they talk about politics and sometimes do some entertainment stuff. But it kind of sounds like you know about all of the entertainment blogs, though. So why don't you just
Right.
talk about that content if you
Right.
really are that interested?
Right.
You know?
Because he asked her that, and she said that they don't talk about that on her channel. And then they asked her something else. It'll come back to me. I forgot.
When she was talking about that, I was just kind of like, You're a long way from politics if you're talking
Yeah.
about Sean and Storm and Wiley. That's a long way from politics. They
Yeah.
don't talk about that, and they're very messy. So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just like, it's funny. She said, "Ooh,
Yeah.
shady
Because they
people."
kind they kind of caught her up at the end of it because she said something about, oh, she said she did not know that Sean and Storm didn't like each other.
Yes, that's
And
right.
then at the end of it, she was like, I watch your channel all the time. I'm always in your chat. And the people from the chat and the people that was on the panel was like, well, then how did you not know they didn't like each other?
Right. If you're always in the chat, and also, why are you always in the chat if you don't like this kind of content?
Right.
I'm just like, just make it make sense. All of it. It just does not make sense to me. And like I
Yeah.
said, she doesn't sound credible because she had not one lick of proof.
Right.
Show something. Even Sean asked her, he was just like, well, did you take pictures? And she was like, nobody's carrying a disposable camera in like early
Oh,
90s.
yes.
She was like, we didn't have cell phones and all of that stuff. So I'm like, girl, that also shows you it was so long ago. So why are you talking if you have no proof?
Right.
Anybody's gonna ask you for proof. I mean, I just really I hate to I'm not a victim shamer. So if something bad has happened, then you should talk about it. But
And you're
again,
not a victim shamer because she wasn't the victim. The boy who's nowhere
right,
to be found is the victim of this. And
allegedly.
if he allegedly, right, and if he, let me put him on allegedly banner, and if he's not out speaking about it, then you shouldn't be out speaking about it either, because that's even worse.
Thank you. And she didn't even say that she got some information from the boy. She just said that he lived at the house because he
Right,
needed help and he was down on his luck. So what are you even saying? Unless that boy told her something or she actually saw something, you really have no legs to stand on to be doing 3, 4, and 5 interviews in one day. Like, what are you doing?
right.
It's
That's
very
so true.
strange.
That's so true.
You do want to give people an opportunity to speak on stuff. Now, if she wanted to talk about her, puppy experience, that's something that she actually lived,
Right,
right?
right,
That's something that happened to her. Then talk on that. But don't talk about stuff or someone's, information when you really are not revealing anything other than the fact that you dislike
right,
him. So you're just on this smear campaign because you're a bored
right.
housewife?
Real quick, Cindy, we have almost 90 people in here in this chat. We only have 43 likes. So I'm gonna go ahead and play my like video and share video real quick and give some people to go ahead sometime. Come on out those bushes and smack that like button. And you can go on back where you was at. All right. We'll be right back.
Yes.
You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you was better than me. Stop it. You ain't better than me. I got a lot of macaroni cause I cheddar and cheese. See me in my 50. You said that man he just shit it. Cause I show you how I do it, but don't show you how I did it. I be multiplying numbers so you not in my division. Call me Rudolph. You be dashing like. See me in my 50. You said that man he just shit it. Cause I show you how I do it, but don't show you how I do it. See me in my 50, you said that man he just shit it. Cause I show you how I do it, but don't show you how I did it. I be multiplying numbers so you not in my division. Call me Rudolph, you be dashing like blue. Thinking of getting it done, but you never catch me slipping. Hella Grey Goose is what you catch me sipping. You don't get girls cause they know you tripping. Acting like you making money, but you bullshitting. My style so clean, don't none of it be script. Got hella just if, but don't none of them be stiff. And I got a grill, so my drink just chill. Mr. Yes, I'm so fly in the field.
All right, we are back.
We're back. Come on, guys. He's working hard to bring you this content.
Yes, I've been
It
working.
takes a lot of time to do the research and to listen to make sure that you're as current as possible. So
This is my last day of multiple lots. I go back to work tomorrow. So
yeah, that's right. But this is a big one. I mean, like
yeah,
I thought it was really going to be like, okay, kind of a slow news day. But it
yeah.
really hasn't been. It's been a lot happening out on the internet.
Yeah. I was shocked because I'm like, what does this title say? Because I think when I woke up, Conscience
Right.
was live. And I was like, wait, what? And so I kind of
Right.
started hearing Conscience talking, and then Storm had came up on the channel. And that's when I found out that Wally had did an interview. And then I was trying to watch, I was supposed to be doing a Sisters review right now.
Oh,
But then I seen that Sean was interviewing the girl. So I'm like, let me find out what's going on. Because I did say I was going to keep us up to date what was going on with this story. And then I hear her talking. I'm like, she
right.
ain't even saying nothing.
Nothing. And for 3 hours, nothing.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing? I mean, it's just, it just seems like right at this point, she was just kind of enjoying the attention, but she was also so combative. It was hard to kind of follow or even be sympathetic to whatever her experience was with him.
yeah,
I didn't feel bad for anything that she was saying because she wasn't saying anything, and I just
yeah.
feel like, why would you do 3 or 4 interviews? She's basically saying the same thing. So I'm like, 3 or 4 interviews of nothing.
I mean, and then you got to pay for the one tomorrow.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of like, so what's the point of this?
And then she was trying to put it off on her subscribers, saying that she did, at the end of it, she changed it to she didn't want her subscribers to have to pay for, or her subscribers were upset about having to pay to see her on a live or something like that.
Yes, but if they're watching you on a live and you're not saying anything,
Yeah.
they're not missing out on anything.
And
So
if they pay to see it and then you ain't said anything, I'll be upset.
right, exactly. It's just kind of like you going on someone else's platform and they're asking you direct questions and you don't really answer them.
Yeah.
I'm not as one of your subscribers. I'm not going to be like they did so dead wrong. I mean, you didn't say anything. Like,
Right. What did you want her to say? I mean, you didn't say
well,
anything.
right, you didn't say anything.
Right.
I mean, that is the point. Like, I just feel like I don't understand these people. Like when I hear the words interview,
Right.
I'm expecting you to actually answer some questions.
I'm expecting to leave with some new information,
New
not be even
information.
more
There you
confused than I
go.
was when I walked over here.
Exactly. Exactly. So then it's like, what is she expecting people to do to gain out of this? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I'm like, these are
you
3 hours
haven't
of
said
my life I'll
anything.
never get back.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I could not watch the whole 3 hours, but I'm just kind of like, when I tapped on it to see how much longer it was to go, I was like, oh, girl, oh no, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this with you, unless she was going to say something that was relevant, other than the fact that
Just
she
say
lived 4 blocks
something,
away.
Cindy.
Say
Say something.
something.
Period.
Exactly.
Nola Reed said, did she ever explain why she was a kid peeper? No, she never did. And Miss Reed, this is what I was telling her earlier. Miss Reed said, wait, she has a YouTube channel. Why didn't she do this mess on her channel? That says it's all clout chasing.
You.
That's what they were all asking her. And she kept saying, well, they don't do this kind of conversation on her channel because they've already talked about it and they've been known this. And I'm like, I doubt that
Exactly.
y'all have had this conversation and this is the first time we've ever heard of this stuff. And because I guess they were saying, Sean was asking, do they think that she should get paid? And they're like, no, because if she wanted to get paid, she would have did the shit on her own damn channel.
Absolutely. But remember she also said something that, which I thought it was weird, that she said when she did talk about it, she had been shadow banned ever since.
Oh
And
yeah,
again,
I did hear
I'm
her
not
say
a
that.
YouTuber, so I don't know what that means. I was like, what does this mean?
It basically means like they kind of take you out of the algorithm,
Oh,
basically.
so less people have access to you or your content. Is
And
that
it's
what
hard
that
to
means?
find your videos and your channels. Like when you're like, let's say,
Oh,
this is a hot topic right now. So you know that Cory Hardrict is probably the main thing that people are putting in their description as tags and as hashtags. So when somebody like searches on YouTube Cory Hardrict, my video should pop up at some point. But if you're
right.
shadow banned, yours will never pop up.
Oh, wow. Okay. So maybe she's angry about that, that maybe, her voice
She
isn't
need to be mad at
getting
YouTube for
out.
that, not
Yes,
Cory.
I was about to say that. Everything keeps being about everything else except for Corey, but she keeps
Right,
putting his name in her mouth. Like,
right.
I just don't get it. I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the point? What is your motive of doing this?
But a lot of these people, they live on that, and there's no bad publicity. They live that way. And
Yeah,
so the reality is whether or not it's good or bad, people are talking about her. So somebody's going to go over to her channel and subscribe and
yeah.
follow her because she's saying these things, because there's somebody who's going to believe it.
Absolutely. And there's also somebody that's not going to want to like Corey and Ortia and
Yep.
Tamara.
Yep.
I mean, for all of the supporters and love that they get, they're also haters. People just, some people just are miserable. They just don't like certain people. Certain
Yeah.
people rub, like really happy, bubbly people tend to rub people that are less that way the wrong way. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so it's like, but that's not their fault. They're not doing anything wrong. They're still being themselves.
Right.
I just feel like, that's what it more felt like to me with this lady, and what she was trying to, what she never said was the problem. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, so you don't like them. You don't have your voice out of that dislike out to a larger number of people. So that
Right.
upsets you. Other than that, what is the problem?
V. Hargett is saying she's been in entertainment since she was 5 years old. That's what she did say that. And I agree with Nola. Like we've been saying, she did this to grow her channel. Because there's no other reason unless you are coming on. Like if I'm coming to speak my piece about something, I'm
Yeah.
speaking on my piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Me
I
too.
could understand it for her whole life. Like this has been eating her up, and she finally wants to come out and say something. But you
Hmm.
can't come out and just come and say something and not say nothing.
Exactly. And also so late, like 20
Yeah.
years later. Like if you
20,
were going to say something,
I
you should
wouldn't
have
even be
said
mad at
it.
the 20 years later part, you know. But if you're going to say something 20 years later, you better come with something.
That's my point. That's my point. So, Deb, like you can just say 20 years ago she could have just said I just didn't like him. He was a bomb. She could have
Right.
said that then, you know. But
Right.
if you're now going to insinuate and tie, a minor to a situation, now we have a problem. And if you're going to say that, then you have to say everything. You have to have some receipts to say
Right.
something about it all of this time later. And I keep stressing all of the time later because, like I said, if you really felt someone was a predator or a problem, then you let them go on with it for like 20 years.
Right.
So now you're a problem.
Now you're part of the problem.
Now you're part of the problem. So which one is it? So that's why I'm being clear, and pushing the time frame, because I'm just like, if I felt that someone was really in danger, or a minor was in danger, I'm going to say something before
Right.
somebody announces a divorce that has nothing to do with children, by the way, other
Right.
than
20
I'm
year
sure
later,
some
you better
sort of
pull me some DNA
thank
samples from
you.
that couch.
Yes,
Something like
something. Thank you, so damn. Or at least, or
bring
at
the
least,
couch to the police department. You know what
right,
I'm saying? I need to
right,
see the
or at
mail
least,
from your address. Show me where's the Polaroid film at. We're gonna get it developed. Okay.
right,
Because you might
exactly,
not
or
take
at least
pictures
have
with
like
Cory, but you would take pictures in that neighborhood.
right, or at least have like a grainy video like R. Kelly. Have something. You have
Do
to have
something.
something. You can't just say or insinuate, because she really didn't say anything. You can't insinuate somebody is a horrible person when you have no proof of that. She
And
didn't even have any proof of him being mean to her. So what? She didn't tell a story about that. Like, make it about you. She didn't have anything to say other than she didn't like him because he was a bum.
right.
So okay,
I'm gonna tell you what else was shady. So you know when she logged off of the video and she was supposed to go getting her friend. Somebody logged on backstage saying, I'm the neighbor.
what? Say that again, so Deb.
When she logged off to go get the friend, because she was like, oh, my the girl that lived across the street, she's been texting me the whole time, like, they playing with you. And so she was like, let me drop down real quick so I can call her. And
Mm-hmm.
then when that girl got up there, she said she feels like Cory didn't play with her in the neighborhood. It seems like something like they didn't want to play with her. She pulled back up, and then she was telling Sean to tell the girl to come down, or the interview was over with. And then
Right.
somebody logged on backstage, and their username was I'm the neighbor.
Oh, come on. Come on. I'm so glad I didn't stay on for that whole shenanigans. It's kind of like, now you're the neighbor, and now
Right.
you've been texting back. So once again, even if that was the neighbor, let's say that was the neighbor. Okay.
Well,
So now we
she
finally
said it
have
was when the
something.
girl started talking. She said that wasn't the neighbor.
See what I'm saying? I'm already done with this lady. I'm done with her. I just don't feel like she was credible. She didn't give what it was supposed to be giving. Like,
Right.
I just feel like, unless you have something really, pertinent to say, don't involve yourself and don't insinuate somebody, when they're already going through a hard time. You
Right.
know,
And
I
sometimes,
just don't like
especially
that.
when you're like interviewing somebody, and y'all know, like I've been in the industry, I've done this a lot. You have to cut your interview sometimes because if people are going to come around and do it for 3 hours, like you said, around with this, you got
Yes,
to cut your interview and count it as a loss. Look, ma'am, if you're not going to come up here and give us what you were supposed to be giving us, interview over.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because
That's why you're taking your time to get the story. If there's
yeah,
no story, or the story is only that you don't like someone, that's not enough of a reason to keep you on his platform or any of their platforms. And again, her trolling and seeing who has the biggest numbers is super shady to me. And then you get on the platforms of three different people in such a short amount of time telling the same nothing. It does not
mhm.
make any sense to me. I just
you
simply,
can't you can't even piece together from Storm to Wally to
right,
Sean a story. Like you can't even piece a story
right,
together from all three interviews that she's done.
Exactly, and that's the point. It's kind of like you can't even do that. So what are you going on these platforms for, other than to say that you think that you not you think you don't like him. He was at one point pro, like I
Right.
mean, like any other actor at 20. They're all, she was like, why couldn't you go to a bar and be a server or something like that? Why do you care? Who cares?
Right.
I mean, it's not like if the people that he was staying with felt like he was such like a leech, they would have put him out. So
Right.
if they weren't worried about it, why does she seem so bothered by it?
I was just thinking that, Cindy. Like, if the mother wasn't like upset with it, and the 16-year-old and the friends weren't, I mean, what was like? Well, I don't understand. The only thing that she was saying, which we don't even know if it's true or not, is that then they all started. It sounded like she said it sounded like Court was giving them drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what it sounded like she was saying.
or she was insinuating drugs or alcohol or something.
Yeah.
Like something to put them under the influence. And I'm just like, if you're poor, you don't have access to drugs.
True. That's well. Sometimes you do.
What are you gonna do? Did she see him standing on the corner? Did she see him on the block? No, she did not.
Yeah, that's she didn't say she did. Well, she saw him sitting on the bus stop when Tia picked him up.
But was he sitting there on the side of his hand handing somebody something? No, he was at a bus stop, probably trying to go to an audition. So
Right.
I'm still like, what are these points that you're bringing up? What is this supposed to be proving?
Right. Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't get why these guys are letting her come on, especially if unless they hadn't heard the other interviews. Because had they listened to her being
I don't
interviewed
think that
before,
Sean listened to any of those interviews.
oh, okay, see,
Because I know I didn't listen to him. I listened to Sean because I do listen to some of Sean's stuff every once in a while.
uh-huh.
I've never even been to Storm's channel ever before, and I never have been to Wiley's channel either. So I did see because I have my notifications on for Sean. So when I seen it, I was like, well, maybe she's going to retell the same story, so at least I can understand what's been going
What's
on.
going on?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, I was more confused when I left than I was before I got on.
I know. I know, especially because we haven't heard any of this kind of stuff about him or anybody else really,
Right,
before. So that's why I'm so surprised. Like, again, not to say that bad things won't happen whether we hear about it or not, but for
right.
somebody that has been in the entertainment industry as long as Tia has, and we haven't heard a peep,
A
not even
peep.
about not about her, not about Cory, not about her sister or her sister's husband,
Right.
nothing. So now all of a sudden this woman comes out because she dislikes Cory. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, but you also disliked him 20 years ago. Why are
Right.
you still holding on to it? People that I can't even tell you. So Deb, I mean, maybe it's just me. I can't tell you who I disliked 20 years ago
Me
because I didn't like
either.
them. Right?
Unless they did something to me. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Like,
you.
it would have to be something that was very personal to me. And it's not that damn personal because her and that boy that was 14 don't even know each other anymore. So
Even
it
talk.
can't be that
So
story. And I do agree with V. Hargan. I think that they just like seeing her make a fool of herself.
so they can get some
And some
clicks,
views, yep.
probably.
Because she made a fool out of
Mhm.
herself on Sean's channel. And honestly, he wasn't even trying to make her a fool. He just wanted to get some
No,
answers.
he was just trying to get the actual answers that she
Yeah,
refused to answer with her silence. And,
yeah.
and he actually was kind of giving her a hard time because he was just like, yeah, so basically, you're not telling me anything. Like, he was
Right.
trying to say it like in a nice way, but
Yeah.
that's why he was like, "Do you feel bad that you're doing this? Do you feel like you want to apologize?" Like he was
It was
asking her questions like that because I'm just like, "Lady, you're not saying anything other than you're insinuating something and the fact that you don't like him." So,
right.
and that's not enough.
I did learn that he was a bum.
but
And that's and that she hates
to
bums.
me,
And that
but
she
to
hates bums.
me,
But that was the only thing new that I learned.
right, but come on. I feel like at 20, all of us could have been bums, even if we had a little,
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, what was I
isn't
doing
that why
at 20?
people move to LA? I mean,
Yes.
almost every actor or actress or singer that you have seen tell stories, talk about them sleeping on the couch. Even I
Yes.
remember Sherry Shepherd just told that story
Oh,
about sleeping
really?
on somebody's. I think she said she slept on, or was it Niecy Nash or Sherry Shepherd? One of them said they slept on the other person's couch.
Wow. Okay. Because I was
So
gonna
I mean,
say
but that's
Sherry
a story.
Shepherd.
That's a story as old as time. Most Tyler Perry slept in his
Yes.
car.
Yes. But
So
that does not make somebody a bum. And also at 20, what was I doing at 20? Maybe I was working at a bank or something. I had a bank as a bank teller. Then am I a bum because I was living with my mom and trying to figure out what I wanted to do?
right,
Like, even with a little job. So I'm just kind of like, but still, once again, who's watching me from 4 blocks away,
right,
blinds, as a kid, being like, I don't like that Cynthia. She's not, she doesn't have any money. So
right.
what?
I'm more concerned about you peeping through my window at 14.
Right. Like, don't you have something to do, little girl? Don't you have somebody's hair to go braid or something? Go do
Right,
something. You know, it was giving me very angry, clout chasing, no, needing the attention because I'm a bored housewife energy. And I
yeah.
was not here for it. I wasn't here for it at all. I was just
Because
kind
he
of like
even
looking,
asked her. He said, "So what if he sues you?" Because she
right,
kept making a big deal out of which I'm like, well, if they're going to divorce, how could he even be using her money to sue anybody?
right,
Because she kept on saying that Cory's intimidating all these people because he's using Tia's money to sue people. When Tia made it very clear on social media that none of that money is his, that they've made through
absolutely.
this. So I don't understand that storyline. But then Sean asked her, he was like, "Well, are you afraid to be sued?" And she was like, "For what? I'm a single mom. I ain't got shit else to do but sit at home."
Absolutely.
I'm like,
So
I'm
that's what
sure
it
your
sounds
husband probably don't want to waste his money on no damn lawsuit for no damn reason.
exactly. Exactly. Because what she's basically saying without actually, telling a full made up story is slander. It's defaming
Yeah,
him. So she could be sued for doing that
yeah.
because she's just this random woman doing that. Now, if she was a blogger or reporting the news and she's just relaying what's already out there, then
Mhm.
no. But what she was trying to insinuating,
That's
yes, you're trying to
defamation.
now say that's defamation. So I'm like, you're basically taking this, family man that's divorcing from his family, and it doesn't seem like by choice that you're painting him out to be a monster. So why would you
Yeah,
do that?
right. What's going on? One who cares and 0206. I don't think she should reconcile unless that's something that's in her heart to do. I think if they are over, let them be over. Because nobody wants to stay in a marriage they're not happy in, to be honest. But
Right.
I don't think that nobody should be forcing anybody to be in a relationship they don't want to be in because you're not the one that's going to be unhappy. She is, or vice
Absolutely.
versa. So
And again, I feel like I agree with you 1,000%. I never really felt like they had that chemistry. I felt like she loved him more, which I always feel like is a mistake for women. I feel like the
mhm,
men should love you more than you love them because it's harder for women. And I feel like, she was perfectly happy with their situation, and sometimes people grow apart. I feel like,
mhm,
when because she's really bubbly, she's always doing her IG little reels and to music and stuff, and he always looks like, "Help me, please get me out of here." I just don't feel like they have any. Yeah, he's always like, "Okay, do your thing, wife." Like it's not his thing. Like they just don't seem like they have a lot in common any longer. You know what I mean? And
and I
at first
think
they were like both young black
yeah,
um, actors just trying to make it. But Tia's been doing this a long time. I'm
yeah,
glad she had a little prenup. She's probably like, okay, I want to have more fun.
yeah, yeah. And I just think even announcing this, I think that they both probably already knew what the scrutiny that they were going to go through. I mean, I've heard people talking about
Yeah.
their sex life. You know, I've
Wow.
heard them say that they're not even the twins are not even that attractive. I've heard so many
What?
things. I'm like, I've never heard anybody say any of these things about them. But now
Oh
they're under the
wow, me
magnifying glass.
neither.
So now, and then the sad part is Tamara gets dragged into this as well.
Right.
And it's sad. It's like because we cannot stay focused on the fact that This woman that said, I'm just unhappy. I don't feel the love that I should feel. She didn't say our sex life is bad, and I'm guilty for it because I did say, I never saw them really look like they was in love. We are scrutinizing this relationship when, it really could be what she said it was.
Absolutely. And I feel like it was because, her response to him putting an emoji, which I'm sure was hard to do in light of the scrutiny that they're under, and her saying, I love you. She's not even upset about it. Now, I feel like if somebody had done her wrong, and even as nice as they appear to be, if she was actually cheated on or he really did her dirty, I'm sure she would.
That.
She's not going to post "I love you." At the most, she might be like, because he's now going to be her baby daddy, like, thank you,
Right.
But it's not going to be "I love you." Nobody's that nice.
I know, like this is probably why those emojis like really spoke to me, because I remember my breakup. Like, it was hard for me to do anything public or speak on anything. Like, it was a really hard time. You know what I mean? And people are like, well, they're okay. Like, no, they're showing you guys they're okay on social media. But this man didn't type no words. He clicked on some emojis. Like, that man is heartbroken.
Yeah. And you can tell, like he said, like, don't believe the first thing. Like, all of his little, veiled messages seem to suggest to me, this is again my personal opinion, that he doesn't want this. However, when you do love someone, you do have to let them go. If you've grown apart and you guys want different things, you're in different spaces in your life of what gives you peace and joy, then sometimes, as a couple, you have to separate. That person's not going to take you to that other level,
Right.
And sometimes that's the case. Is it sad? Absolutely. But they have children. They've been public figures long enough to know to not drag each other. So they're trying to do it respectfully. But all of these stories, like you just said, I hadn't even heard any of that commentary. I've never, looked at the twins and was like, they're unattractive. I think they're cute.
I never heard that
They
either.
were cute girls. Yeah, I thought that they were cute girls. And now they're beautiful
Did you
women.
hear her when she went on there and talking about they're not black?
Yes. She was like, they have one white parent. And I understand that we know that they're biracial.
Right.
But when in any I don't know how many friends you have that are mixed or biracial. My godchild is also biracial. Her dad is white. And my best friend is not. The world and society makes them choose.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the other parent is. They're gonna say you're black.
Right. And it doesn't matter what you are, as long as your skin color don't look, if it's not white like the police think, if you look black, they pulling your ass over. So you can sit and debate how black she is all day, but that does not change what society looks at it as. In reality, we should be able to celebrate who we are, if we're mixed, if we're fully black or whatever. The reality is we're all mixed with different stuff. That's the reality. But
that's the reality.
Our skin tone tells a different story in 2022 when we're fighting for our rights and things like that. So I hated that storyline. And I want to read this. Protect My Energy said, I honestly cannot imagine my life being so dissected to bits and pieces publicly and folks from 4 blocks away.
Protect My Energy. You said it all. Coming out of the bushes, coming out of the woodworks, honey. She came out of the woodworks from 4 blocks away.
What's going on, Faith? What's going on, AT2? It was like, how you have your grandparents used to sit on the porch and watch everything going on in the neighborhood.
Yes.
She seems like one of them kids who sat on the porch with their grandparent that watched the neighborhood. Because, why were you outside when T and Tamara rolled past at the bus stop?
Absolutely.
Super KB said, I will say that having Tia in the news had me watching Twitches 1 and 2. I am like Hocus Pocus. Who make the crazy go away? What's going on, Jennifer? What's going on, Shay B? But then he said, it's in this society, it's either mixed or black. So So no one anywhere, not even on their father's side of the family, would say that they're white. Exactly.
Thank you.
And
All the
she's
kids.
even sit on her YouTube channel and talked about that.
I mean, both of them have both of the twins, and just
Mhm.
because Tamara happened to marry a white guy, it does not mean that she's less black. She's still black,
Yeah.
and she knows that. Her
Yeah.
kids are black. She knows that. Like, I mean, nobody's negating that. And again, like I said earlier, society makes kids, of mixed race. And like you said, we're all mixed at this point. Hundreds of years we've been in this country. Nobody can say they're from Africa unless they actually are from Africa.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we're all mixed. I have white and black and Asian and a bunch of stuff in my family, but do I look black? Absolutely. Am I
Right.
black? Yes, I am. So, I mean, I just feel like I think that's a weird thing to even go to.
AT2, that's what we're talking about right now. I feel like, remember they were saying I was doing this after I left that channel. She got a better tour than I got.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And we said that way earlier too, AT, because I said, how are you on 3 or 4 different channels in under a day? Who does that?
She's been on the channel in less than 24 hours.
Yes. And said nothing.
And we still don't know nothing new.
Don't know anything new. Nothing. And I'm just kind of like, where is the smoking gun? What are you trying to say here? That these awkward silences really make her look bad. It makes her look, not credible. So why you have to answer a question if you're being interviewed, or don't be interviewed. Really.
Right. Protect My Energy said, I mean, Tamara doesn't have TS rhythm, but yeah, you're right, Cindy. Tamara is not any less black because of her marriage, but her dance moves, she gets that from her daddy's side.
But again, that's not her fault. She's still black, but that's not her fault that her dad is white. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what? She snapped her dad with the dancing. Oh, poor thing.
I know I got white people in my family because I can't dance either.
And again, that's a stereotype. Not all black folks know how to get down. A lot of us do. Okay,
right.
I will say.
Right.
In every stereotype there is a bit of truth. However,
Right.
it's just kind of like, I just feel like why are they going back to the biracial thing because of a divorce? We've known that they had, that their mom is black and that their dad is white. We know
Right.
it. So what? They've been acting since they were, babies. So
Yeah.
what? I just don't understand how that's pulled into this narrative. What does that have to do with anything?
My big sis speaks says, what's the statute of limitations? They need to sue her for peeping and Tommy.
Thank you. Not peeping and Tommy. Oh my God, so good.
AT2 said, I grew up privileged, so the rhythm sometimes doesn't find me. Yellow.
Thank you. The rhythm has to find you for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I must have been ducking and dodging it because it sure as hell didn't find me.
That's so funny. So Deb, you dropped the link. Any of these people in the chat, you don't want to come up from out of the bushes and say anything?
Yeah, I dropped it again too.
Okay.
Yes, come on, y'all. I mean, because we're just talking about our confusion of all this. Again, you guys, I've been going live about this since it started. And I did come off hot, and I did find out that I did get blocked from Cory. If you guys, let me show y'all.
Crazy to me, because I was just like, that was a short period of time. We were only maybe into your live like 15 minutes before you started to look for his stuff, and then you were already blocked just from a title.
And I was like, we can see it, and I'm like, it's showing that he deleted it.
Right, and I was just like, no. I was like, let me send you some proof that I can see this man's page. So once again, it's just like from a title, like he didn't know if you could have been on his side and very sympathetic.
Right.
Just from a title, you were blocked. That's weird.
But see, here's his link. And it says, this page isn't available.
That is so crazy. That's so crazy. AT said, let me see if I'm blocked. Maybe
What's
we're all
going on,
blocked.
Lamar? What's going on, Lamar?
Maybe if I try to sign back on today, so then maybe I'm blocked too. I mean, it's
Because I was,
crazy.
I was tripping. Like, I'm like, I don't see it. Everybody in the chat was pulling it up, and I cannot pull up his Instagram.
That's why I was like, let me just send you the screenshot really quickly so you could see it. I was like, I can see his stories, I can see everything,
ATQ
So
said, "No, I'm good. I've been nice to him, so I'm good."
I
Honestly, I just think because again, I know there's millions of people that are on YouTube, but when I went on, I was trying to time it because I was like, nobody has said anything about this. I'm going on live. I gotta hurry up and do it. And when I went on, no one had went live yet. So I think that maybe he might have been like Googling his name at the time, and I might have been live because we weren't too far into the live when I started trying to pull him up.
Right. That's what I said. It was like 10 or 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
he was really quick with the, Twitter fingers or whatever they're called, like with the block button. He was heavy-handed
Right.
with the block button. He didn't even know what the commentary was going to be about. And again,
Right.
as a public figure, I really don't think that, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to be mean to him because I just literally have been protecting him from this Kiki woman
Mhm.
this whole time. But I just feel like that's a bad look. He should let the news go, like Tia did. She just made her announcement on her page, and then let it go, regardless of what the comments are. You don't have to go back and block people.
You know who I need to ask if they're blocked is Sherelle, because it might have been from Sherelle's world.
Ah,
Because I'll tell you, I was in Sherelle's world chat said free Tia.
okay,
And I
okay.
did go up on her panel that day and talk about it. So it could have been from her channel too. So
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm curious. Maybe you should ask her because I'm just like, I just feel like as a public figure, that people are going to talk about this stuff. You
yeah,
know that they are. Period.
yeah,
I mean, like for example, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. It's been what, 7 years, 6, 7 years. We're still talking about them and their
yeah,
divorce. So it's kind of like that people are just going to glom onto that. I just also feel like to the black folks, we get sometimes oddly attached to couple goals or quote unquote black love and all of this stuff, and it's kind of like you really don't know these people, their ins and
right.
outs. You don't why are you so invested? Like, I just feel like the black community sometimes gets overly invested in couples, and kind of like
Right.
Megan Good and like, I mean, they just kind of get a little bit too invested. And if it doesn't work, it does not mean that somebody cheated or somebody's a bad person,
Yeah,
but sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes they
right.
grow apart.
And Miss Ree, I think it was because I know I did say over there, I said she needs to pick him up where she left him, where she needs to drop him off where she left him off at that bus stop.
Oh
I think that's what did
no.
it for me, y'all. I think that's what did it for me. And I was just
Oh,
joking at the time because I think I wasn't so nice the first one. I was kind of level headed, but I did say some things that weren't nice. But I did go back and make up for it though.
but I mean, still, whether you said some things that were mean or not, you're a public figure. You're
Right,
allowed to have your opinion, right?
right,
You're allowed to have your opinion. And if you don't like it, then don't be a public figure. You can't have all the benefits of celebrity and then turn around and say, but don't talk about me. I just
but he
don't
might have knew
agree
that
with
Kiki was going to tell everybody that it wasn't the bus stop at the studio. It was the bus stop that was 4 blocks away from her house. Um,
that.
wait a minute. There was something else that she said. Dang, I just forgot it that fast.
Being the bus
Forget it. I
stop.
forgot what it was.
Okay. Because I was just like, really? I mean, there, you don't have much to remember because she didn't say much.
I
So,
know. It's like little stuff that she said that I was thinking about. Like I was trying to you know me, I'm an overthinker, so I'll be trying to piece things together, but I couldn't piece nothing together. Uh,
right.
Not but you went back and made up for it, kind of like me as edited, because I'm a boss.
What did she do? What did Mia edit?
Her post about her cancer scare.
Oh, okay. Why would she have to redo it? I mean, that was her
Because when she originally got it, they told her, she said that they told her she had cancer. Um, well, she on the show she said that they said that she had cancer. And then Giselle said, "Well, was it cancer?" And she said it was lymphoma. And so I don't know if you like. I've been around people who have had cancer where they
yeah,
will call you and kind of leads you in the direction that you have cancer. Or
yeah,
sometimes I've been around someone who they have called them and told them they have cancer, and then later on went back and told them that it wasn't cancer. So
right.
for me, I have been really fighting for me with this post because I'm like, when you find out that you have cancer, you don't know what you're going to say or what you're going to do. And
Yes,
people are like, she shouldn't have said nothing on social
social
media.
media.
But I'm just like, well, you can't
But
control how people want to vent when it comes down to something like that. I mean,
exactly,
this could feel like
exactly.
this is it for me, so I'm going to do whatever I want to do. But then they told her that they haven't found any cancer at this point. They're still running tests though.
Right. And again, like you said, we can't really tell
Hey,
people
Prosperity.
how they're going to actually, hey, prosperity, how they're going to respond to news like that. My mom did have cancer and she passed away from complications to
Mhm.
it. So again, I mean, but if she were on Twitter saying something about what she was diagnosed with, that's her
Yeah.
business. I don't understand why those girls would have to be, worried about her posting something or
Well,
not.
you talking to
It's
you
kind of
talking
like,
to these girls in this chat too.
right. Yes.
Prosperity said it's good to see you on the screen, Cindy.
Oh, thank you, Prosperity. I had to jump in on this because we've been following this because of SoDeb from the beginning. And I was like, and when I started to watch that interview, and I was just like, this is not this is not an interview. It's basically her
Rambling.
practically, yes, I was going to say totally rambling, but practically yelling the fact that she didn't like him. So,
Yeah.
okay, we can say that. You can say that on your channel, girl. You can post that every day on, take a picture of that quote and put that on your IG every day. Why are you on all of these other platforms basically saying that, and nothing else? So you have nothing to add. And if I were him, I could say that it was defamation.
Right. Prosperity said, "Not me, so debonair. I think they need to mind their business. It's her story, not theirs." Exactly. I don't. I've been around the cancer story so many times that for me, it's unpredictable, and you don't know what it's like until you experience it. So if that's what she wanted to do the way she wanted to do it, listen, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows what encouragement she would have gotten from her fans and
Yes,
everything else. So, sometimes you don't, it does, she, to me, this is my own personal thinking when it comes to like viewing the show. It doesn't seem like she has a lot of people around her who even support her for real.
right,
And
right.
so, her doing that, her fans probably would have left her messages that was encouraging to her to keep going and fight it. And girl, it might not even be cancer. You can still fight it. You can get over it. You know what I'm saying? I know she has a husband at home,
Absolutely.
but I mean, he's older than she is. So who's to
I
say
know.
who's to say what that was like for her?
Absolutely. And then also, like you said too, so Deb, I mean, I agree also with Prosperity just said it's not those girls on the show business, especially if they're not real friends
Right.
outside of the show, right?
Right.
So so for them to blame her for trying to get sympathy, well, having a cancer scare or even having a biopsy is very scary. So,
Yeah.
like you said, if she doesn't have a close circle, maybe she did want to get that out there and say, "Hey, I'm going through this." I just don't understand why it would be part of them attacking her. If somebody
Giselle
tells
walked up
me,
to her like, "Is this what cancer, no cancer looks like?" I'm like,
yes,
"That's so tacky."
it's
Just
so
like the
tacky.
clothes you wear.
Right. And if she did have it and she, burst out into tears, what would she have to say then?
Right.
I
Because she
mean,
could have
like,
literally got a phone call before she went to that event,
yes.
like, "You really do have cancer." What would Giselle have done?
What would she have done? So tacky, so inappropriate. And I just
If I
don't
was
like
me,
the
I'd have
way
been
that
like,
she
"This would have like
speaks
to
to
be an
people.
asshole, not an asshole. Now you're an asshole."
Right. Well, she told her what she responded the way she should have, which was F
Yep.
you.
Yep.
So go run with that. Now you have a storyline. I gave you
Right.
something. because I called you out for
Yep.
being a horrible person, basically. I just feel like, the same thing like with Brandy. I won't speak on her cancer thing. Now,
Yeah.
has that been her storyline for a long time? It has. But again, as we know, cancer can go and come. And once you've had it, it's easier for it to come back. So I'm
Well, they
never
weren't
going to be
saying that
like,
Brandy had cancer. Oh, you talking about Brandy from Basketball Wives? Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's her experience,
Yeah.
so I will never sit there and be like, badmouth anybody that is saying, number one, that has an illness that they're
Yeah.
not in control of. And, number two, it's not funny. There's
Yeah.
nothing about that disease that is funny.
Yeah.
So, or interesting, or need commentary from any of those girls. They're your coworkers. So if you're my coworker, I don't necessarily have to confide in you about my personal health challenges.
Mhm. Yeah, I think because I've known so many people who have had cancer. I know people who have died from cancer. I know people who have had cancer scares.
Yep.
Like cancer, and this might be even why I relate to Brandy so much, and I love her so much because it's this like a special place in my heart that I have for her because she's still going through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then we got Mia, and I'm like, well, now I'm about to be representing the boss because I just feel
Does
like
she say
it's
that?
snappy.
I don't really watch the show. I did watch the premiere episode to see if I can get into it. I try every season and I'm never able to finish a season. I just don't like those girls
Mhm.
overall. But so did she call herself a boss?
She did call herself a boss, but this year I made it my personal business to call her a boss. so, so everybody, so everybody making fun of me because I call her a boss.
I got
I'm like, she's not a boss, she's a boss.
it. Both. Okay. Okay, I got it now. Because I was just kind of like, I
And
don't
she
watch
just
them. I
got
don't really know her.
and her husband just got kicked out of their business. So now they making fun of me calling her a boss because she got kicked out of their business.
How's she calling their
Prosperity said, yes,
business?
I had cancerous lesions on her cervix, and they originally said it was cancer. So see, y'all, that's real.
Yep.
Well, gobble gobble, Giselle. So I get me the boss in this case. Okay. Protect My Energy said Giselle has no tact, so her approach wasn't surprising in the least. But the
Oh.
boss, fu doesn't phase Giselle. Only Karen can gather that woman. Is Jamal coming?
Well, but it doesn't matter. I'm glad she still said it, because if somebody
Yeah,
is trying to interrogate me or, be rude, that's why I don't like some of these, shows and these women, because I'm just like, you guys are only on the show to cause this kind of, havoc and be unpleasant. And I just feel like
right,
you're just a hater at this point.
right,
Everything is not for TV. Like, when does your humanity come in? If somebody
right,
is saying that they're battling this, or they're scaring, or they're scared about something, why would you comment on it?
right.
It just doesn't even, like, other
It's
characters,
not
like a
even humane.
Nene. It's not even humane. Like, somebody like a Nene would never do this.
Yeah,
She wouldn't. Like, I mean, there are people that have had low blows, but that I just felt like I was shocked that she would even confront her about it.
yeah.
I was just kind of like, with her, whatever she had on, I was just kind of like, I know her daughter seemed to help pick out that outfit, but does she always look like that?
She can't dress.
Okay, like I said, I don't know
She can't
much about her.
dress.
She really can't. I just thought that outfit was
The sad part is
weird looking.
that's probably the best that she's looked.
What?
I when they pulled the outfit out, I was like, that is freaking horrible. But
Oh
when I
my
seen her with it
God.
on, I was like, this is probably the best I've seen her look with that on. Like maybe because of how it fit her, and
Right.
for what the occasion was. But I was shocked that I liked it when she put it on.
Well, that tells me a lot, because I was like, I don't know this lady, but I was just kind of like, what does she have on? And to see that that's probably the best thing that she wears.
Yes,
Okay.
Miss Reese, she's done a lot more work on it, but she's still working on it. It looks a lot better than what it used to look. And if y'all
Wow.
forgot what it looked like, let's just stroll down memory lane really quick.
Not scroll down. I gotta see this proof. I gotta see it.
I mean, this is what it was looking
Wow.
like. Now she has an oil change and lube center sign. So, um,
Whoa. Okay. Kind of like I don't know what she's supposed to look like, but I did not like those outfits. For the most part, I thought the one girl that is getting a divorce, what is her name?
Ashley,
Oh, Ashley. Okay. Ashley, I thought she looked the best out of all of them, to be honest,
you thought she looked what?
So I thought she looked the best
Oh,
for
yeah.
that outing. I thought she looked really pretty. She looks like she's free, basically. I
Yeah, she does
mean,
look like she's free.
right. I was just like, there are a lot of women that have had that kind of like, okay, I can now be myself. And she
You know,
looks like she's having that moment. So
you know what they kind of I don't think that they ever on that franchise give you like fashion. They
yeah,
give you more like I'm a businesswoman type of thing.
yeah. But most of those shows, most of the Real Housewives are based on fashion.
Yeah,
That's what it's
but
about. It's about money.
it's not their thing though. And they try their hardest. Like
Oh,
Karen, to me, has had the best glow up ever. Like Karen went from rags to riches, fashion wise,
oh,
and even
really?
she still doesn't like. She's not giving off what like how the other housewives give off at all. But
Okay.
but what she started off with and what she's at now, it looks 1,000 times better. Giselle
Wow.
has looked tacky from season 1 to season 7.
Oh no. Oh my God. They've been on for 7 seasons? Oh no. Yikes. That's a lot of eyesores, I'm telling you, because that outfit, I was like, what is this lady wearing? And that's
and I
maybe why I can't get into
and
them,
this
because they're not about that life. They're not about like
yeah,
the
they're not the
fashion.
fashion is just not a part of their
Yeah.
everyday thing. My big sis speaks says, can you imagine the first lady is supposed to be well, nevertheless, the thing is that when she was pulling out the outfits on the show, it
Hmm.
made me think Giselle still has those first lady clothes in her closet.
Oh no.
Because her daughter kept saying, Mom, those look like you're going to church.
It did, especially that first one that she brought out. It did look like she was going to church.
Yeah.
Um, but but I mean, still, it wasn't even a good look for church. People still look nice in church. It wasn't even a good
Yeah.
church outfit.
She like she was going
I was
to
just
a
like,
tent,
what
she
is
like she
this
was going
woman
to a
wearing?
tent revival.
Uh, yeah, womp womp. Sorry, lady. I'm not hating on her, because, like I said, I rarely watch the
Yeah.
show. So like I said, I keep trying to get in there to support, Black
Yeah.
women. But I just nothing that they do interests me. I don't like them. I don't like the husbands for the most part. I'm just kind of like I don't really like them.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, we digress. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I feel like that if you're going to give an interview at some point, Kiki, you're going to need to start answering
Give it an
questions.
interview.
Yeah, or stop giving the interviews, because it's not
Just
an
shut up.
interview. Yeah, just shut up at this
Go
point.
back down to 4 blocks down and go home.
Right. Right, and get your binoculars out and go spy on somebody else. Find something else to
Yes.
do.
Well, the
I
friend
just
probably
feel
moved
like
up the neighborhood so she can't go on the balcony and spy in that house anymore.
Oh my gosh. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel bad for the whole situation, because it really is about a family breaking up, which is
Yeah.
sad. Even if they've grown apart and there's no animosity, it is a sadness to, when you've tried and it just does not work.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just grow apart. And it's hard to untangle, a life with someone when you spent so much time with them. So I'm sure that Tia is not liking, and him is liking, to see their names being drug out by random people that they have not talked to in like 20 years.
Yeah. Or people from YouTube because he blocked me.
But you, again, you can't be that sensitive and personal of over somebody putting on the news, just reporting the news.
Right.
You know, they posted on social media. How are they expecting no one to say a peep? Come
I
on.
had to go check, like, did Tia block me? But no, she didn't
Right.
block me.
Because I think Tia doesn't have time to be petty like that.
Right.
You know, like
That's
I'm
true.
just surprised and disappointed that he would be.
Oh, well, yeah, she has 11 million followers. She probably doesn't know who's talking about anybody.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I'm sure he has way less, so he probably has more time. But like I said, you weren't very far into your life before you went to go look. So for him to
Oh,
be
what?
that
Yeah, so wait.
sensitive,
So he couldn't have even seen what I said on Sherelle's channel because I
no.
did my live first. So he had to be on my channel.
Oh, see? So I mean, again, so what? Like you said, what are you doing? Googling yourself? Who has time to do that? You know,
Him.
like,
Well, you know, she said
oh.
he's a bum. So.
Yeah, and she was saying he's lazy. I was like, so are a lot of actors. Who cares? I mean, everything that she tried to paint him as a bad person, you know, she had either no proof of, she wouldn't even speak on it, or she just, you know, went back to her, I just don't like him because he's a bum.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you care at 14 if somebody 20 years old is working or not? I didn't care.
He's 6 years
14.
freaking older than you. Why are you even clocking on
Yes,
him like this?
exactly. Especially if you didn't like him or you weren't
Right.
interested. Like, I wouldn't even pay attention. I can't tell you at 14 some random guy that was in my hood at that time, whatever he was doing. You know what I mean? Like, unless I thought he was cute, I didn't probably pay attention to him. You know, so
Hold
why are
on.
you still talking about it?
Miss Regal say how many does he have minus you, so Deb?
Oh, that's a good question, Miss Reed.
Hold on. Let me go
That's
to
a
my
good
other page so I can tell you.
Okay.
He has 987,000.
Nothing.
So
I mean, she's always been
I
just
guess
a
when you only have
star.
989, when you only have 987,000, you got time to look at my little old page with 8,000 subscribers on it. My
I guess you
Instagram only
do.
got 700, I think. Oh no, 7,000.
I just feel like
So I mean, clearly he had time to look
so,
at
but
that. So I mean, she might be on to something about him being a bum, because if he got time to look at that. Hey,
right.
Jack,
Well,
she
didn't
says,
he
"Hey,
just get
brother, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Deb, about Karen and Giselle outfits from beginning to now. Karen has stepped it up over the past years with clothes and hair. She really has. And really quick, thank you for saying this. We're going to take one more break. Y'all, please hit that like button. We have 102 people in this chat, and we only have, let's see, then we only have 80.
80 likes? That's
We got
not too bad,
82
but
likes.
still,
But let's go ahead and
come on, guys.
but this has been different people in and out the whole time. So let's go ahead and play this break one more time. Hit that like button, share this video. We'll be right back.
Yes.
You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you was better than me. Stop it. You ain't better than me. I got a lot of macaroni cause I cheddar and cheese. See me in my 50. You said that man he just shit it. Cause I show you how I do it, but don't show you how I did it. I be multiplying numbers so you not in my division. Call me Rudolph. You be dashing like. See me in my 50. You said that man he just shit it. Cause I show you how I do it, but don't show you how I do it. See me in my 50, you said that man he just shit it. Cause I show you how I do it, but don't show you how I did it. I be multiplying numbers so you not in my division. Call me Rudolph, you be dashing like blue. Thinking of getting it done, but you never catch me slipping. Hella Grey Goose is what you catch me sipping. You don't get girls cause they know you tripping. Acting like you making money, but you bullshitting. My style so clean, don't none of it be script. Got hella just if, but don't none of them be stiff. And I got the grill, so my drink just chill. Mr. Yes, I'm so fly in the field.
We are back.
We're back.
Oh,
And
thank
again,
you, Moisha. She said you and Busy have the best intro songs. Thank you. Busy song is all right. It ain't even all that. It's okay for what it is. It ain't all that. So I'll just play.
You know, he's like Candyman. You're gonna say his name one too many times and he's gonna pop up and yell at you.
What's
It's
that? My
so
manager
funny.
said, "You over there twerking, Miss Ree? Hopefully, so Dev is just tapping his foot since he has 2 left feet when it comes to the beat."
Oh, see, now you told on yourself, so Deb.
I'm always honest about the fact I cannot dance. Listen, that way when I go to your event, don't be like, "Come on and dance with it." Nope, I'm good.
You're like, no, I'm
Please
good over
don't.
here. I'm good over here by the snacks.
hmm I'm gonna be a bum over
I
here by
love
the
it.
snacks for Cory.
I just feel like once again, like a 14-year-old would not even care about that. I just feel like,
Right,
and especially not 20 years later, what did he do to you? You
right.
know, like if your husband, because she says she's a housewife, so if your husband isn't that way, focus on him. Or don't you
Because
have
she has
dare
to be
go
like
cook or something?
34, 35.
Yeah. So go worry about your family because her child sounded really small. So
Yeah.
go worry about them. I know she
Yeah.
said she had nothing but time to do what? Say nothing? I don't get it. I'm confused.
She's on the bum patrol. She goes around and points
Okay.
out bums to make sure they get off the streets.
Well, Cory has been off the streets. Remember, Tia picked him up at the bus stop.
Well,
So
she's upset because he's about to go back to the streets, in her opinion.
this man does have a gig right now. I don't think that Tia is going to, whether she's with him or not, she's not going to jeopardize the safety of her kids by letting that man go back to the streets. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I doubt that. That's just
She
my
says she's
opinion.
38. She's the same. Oh, wait, I'm 39 now. So did she lie? Because then her math is off.
Who? The Kiki lady?
Because she said she was 14 when they met,
6 years older.
and she's 38. Wouldn't that make her 34? I don't know.
Interesting. But even still, regardless, whether it's a few years off or not, she's still too young or old to be sitting there worried about somebody else's husband that they're getting a divorce. They're like, who cares?
Oh, Slay Girl Sass says Storm acted like the interview was so revealing and damaging to Cory. Well, I think he did that because Cory inboxed him and said lawsuit.
Yeah.
Oh, and she said she was 38 on the Wiley show, so maybe she don't know her math. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't
Because
really
if
know
she
how
was
old
14 when
Cory
this
is.
happened, and she was around when they met, then that was 20 years ago. So that means she has to be 34.
Yeah.
So
Something
did she
doesn't sound
lie?
right
Did she lie?
about her whole story. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that Storm tried to make it, back to that comment. Storm tried to make it a title caption based on what she was insinuating,
hmm
but she never said anything in the interview. So it's weird to me that these two channels are making money off of her basically not saying anything. You
Yeah.
know, you can't just I can insinuate all I want about what I think about people. That doesn't make
Right.
it true. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I mean, that's like you being, that's like me saying to you, like, but you seem straight to me. No
Right.
matter, you know what I mean? I'm just like, in my opinion, I can say that all I want. Doesn't make it true,
Doesn't make it
So
true. Right.
I'm just kind of like, so why are you on the channels, lady? And why are you seeking them out or her followers? You know?
Right.
Didn't she claim her followers helped connect her to
Yeah.
to
To all the channels that she's been on.
hmm, that's really, really strange to
I
me.
think
I
that
don't
is
know.
odd that they took. I mean, well, I don't think that it's odd. So, and this is where the confusion comes in at, because if they took her to Storm's channel and he was pro Cory,
Huh.
then it's because of the numbers that Storm had.
Yeah.
And
But
then
the
they went
hmm,
to Wally, but I don't think that they even like. I don't know. I've never ever been to Wally's channel. I heard about Storm being
never.
pro Cory, so I can't tell you what Wally was thinking. And
Right.
I don't think that Shauna's even swayed one way or the other when it came down to it. So it comes
Mm-mm.
down to just the numbers game. It had to be that they were looking at the numbers, or she called her damn self, because I mean, who knows, Pretend my Angie
Right.
said, I heard that what happened. She bumped into Tia at the supermarket somewhere in the 4 block vicinity between their house and Tia grabbed the last cucumber. That lady been mad ever since.
Not the last cucumber. Oh my goodness. Yes. Because I'm like, how are you this big mad? Like, I don't get mad like this. And like you said earlier, so that unless something has been done to me,
Yeah.
and especially like not all of these years later. Like I had a friend back in the day, a little, personal tea for me back in the day. And I wrote everything. I used to write everything,
Hmm.
and poems and stuff. And we had been friends for many, many years,
Hmm.
starting out in junior high.
Hmm.
And then at one point, we were like early 20s or whatever. I was dating my ex fiance, and she was dating some guy. Forget even what the guy's name is, but so she would be like, oh, like how would you word this or whatever. So basically she was stealing my poems. I have
Mm.
never forgotten it. That ruined
Hmm.
my friendship because I couldn't trust her. And as a Leo, trust is huge to me.
Hmm.
And so basically it's like my writing is very personal to me, so it basically felt like she stole a piece of me, you know what I mean? Like she's trying
Yeah.
to take my identity, and
Yeah.
I had to go and confront her. I was just like, yeah, I can't trust you. So that's that. But will never forget it. Now, but
Hmm.
again, that's something that was done to me. I'm not going to sit there across the street at my best friend's house and remember some goings on from some guy that I had no contact with just because
Right.
I thought he was a bum and I didn't
And
like
let
him,
it fester all these years.
and let
That's
it
just
fester all these
that's the same
years.
thing for me. Like I remember back I had to be around 14 at the time. I used to go to this program called NYSP. It's called the National Youth Sports Program. My mom and my aunt sent me and my cousin every year. I hated sports, but they made me go. And
Hmm.
so we used to ride this bus that took us to Ohio State University. And the rule was, if there wasn't enough seats, let the girls sit down. And so one day I had got on the bus and my cousins, because everybody was afraid of my cousins. I was young, so I wasn't. People didn't really know me like that. So I was sitting in the seat, and this girl was like, "Get up," and I
Hmm.
was like, "Get up."
Right.
That's rude. And I was like, you could ask nicely. I was like, I would have got up had I not known that there was no more seats because those are the
Absolutely.
rules are. Before I could finish my sentence, she scratched me in my face. And so,
What?
I mean, it looked like a cat had scratched me. And so I was like, man,
How
I ain't gonna even trip on it. Like I'm gonna just go home or whatever. And my
how old
cousin,
how old were you
I was
guys?
14. I was 14.
What?
So I went home and my cousin was like, what happened to your face? I was like, I don't really want to talk about it. And she was like, no, what happened to your face? And so I
Mhm.
never told her because my cousin, she fought men and women at the time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so the next day we went back and she went to the program because she didn't stay home that day. And she got on the bus. I thought she had forgot all about it. And she got
Mhm.
on the bus. She was like, who scratched my cousin in the face?
Oh no, that's so fun. Is she much older than you?
Yeah, my
She's trying
cousin,
to
she's
protect
probably
you.
like maybe like 6 or 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
No. She
Yeah.
ain't that older than me. I'd be younger than that because she's 6 years, 7 years older than me. I'd be like maybe like 8, 9, 10, something like that. She was older than me. They was in the teens.
Okay.
So everybody pointed at this girl. Her name, I'll never forget, her name was Lynn. And so she was like, oh, you scratched my cousin in the face? She was like, boom, got you. So I'm like, wait, what just happened? So the whole day goes by. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. So we finally get back to our bus stop was at, and we start walking off the bus. My cousin grabbed this girl by the ponytail and walks her off the bus.
See? I mean, that you have to have their consequences for your actions.
Yes.
That was
She
her
said,
consequence.
she said, let me tell you something. This is my mother effing cousin. Don't you ever put your hands, nails, breathe your breath too hard on him. And she pushed her, she threw her in the grass by her ponytail. She said, now class is dismissed.
Wow. What'd the girl do?
Nothing. Them girls was afraid of I don't think they knew that was my cousin. And so I think she thought she didn't know. So she just thought she could do whatever she wanted to. Them people never bothered me a day in my life after that.
Love it. I love it. Yay, cousin. Yeah, one thing that I've always hated is a bully. I always have hated a bully. I used to fight over bullies to protect other kids. That was the only time I fought. It was to protect someone else.
Yeah,
But that my mom did not like that.
yeah,
She was a single mom, and so she was like, I don't have time to be coming off of work to come and get you because you're trying to help somebody else. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
and I got that. I understood it. Like she goes, that's money. When I'm not at work, that's money. You know. Of
Yep.
course, I would never put more of a hardship on my mom. So I would stop doing that. However, that my sister had a bully. My sister is 3 years older than me that was
Mhm.
bullying her. She's very shy. And my mom wanted her to kind of stand up for herself because she was like, who's doing this? So we had pulled up, and I will never forget this big old girl. Her name was Angel, and I would never forget that name because she was not an angel. And she was, and not only was she older than me, she was bigger than me. So my mom
Mhm.
picked me up from elementary school, and my sister was in junior high at that time.
Mhm.
So I'm young and little, and when my mom picked me up. We sat on the side and we were watching. My mom was like, she's going to stand up for herself. I want her to stand up. And when she finally didn't, my mom was
Mhm.
like, okay, you can you can go now, go and help her, basically. I
Mhm.
literally almost climbed that woman like a tree. I don't even know how I got up to her head because, like I said, I was little. I was in elementary school, but I got up to her head and was able to get this girl down. I think she was surprised, like, but I was just like, I was hitting her. I was just like, leave my sister alone. Leave my sister alone, or my mom is going to come up to the school and call your mom.
Mhm.
And she was just looking at me, kind of crying. She was kind of scratched up. And I said, do you understand? And she nodded. She nodded. I picked up my sister's books because she kept knocking them out of her hand. And I said, let's go. This is me in elementary school. Okay.
Wow.
So I certainly relate to your cousin. But
Yeah.
again, like I feel like like I said earlier, I hate a bully. And I feel like that's what Kiki is doing. She's taking this time to be cruel for no reason.
Yeah.
When these people are really dealing with something in personal, they have
Yeah.
a family. That to me should not be, exploited. I just feel
Right.
like this is wrong. I
And
hope
if
she
it's
goes
true and
away.
you have facts about it and you want to report it, first of all, take it to the proper authorities.
Yes.
But two, don't come on the internet with no facts, no real, like no full story. Answer some
Right.
questions. Like do a full damn interview if you want to come on the internet telling people these damn crazy ass stories that don't make no sense, that have no ending to them.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I don't know like how Sean was able to cut it off, but I was just like, when I
Yeah.
saw that it was going to be 3 hours, and I'm just kind of like, but you're not even saying anything, other
Well, he
than
cut it. He
just
cut
being
it off
negative.
because she was trying to bring the girl who actually lived across the street.
Ah, okay.
And she was because she had looked at her phone in the midst of the interview going, oh, the girl across the street's been calling me, let me text her back, because she said that the girl was saying that they disrespecting her or something like that, let her call it so she can tell the real story or whatever. I'm like, please call and tell the real story because we haven't heard it yet.
Because we haven't heard any story. Yeah, we haven't heard
We're
any
trying to
story
hear
other
what the
than the fact,
story is, and the girl's
right?
not delivering.
Not delivering at all. And again, now is this girl going to start her tour?
Well,
What story does she have?
she told Sean that that she's going to connect him with the girl. So hopefully the girl has a better, maybe she has pictures from her Polaroid when they were
Mm,
peeping across the street or whatever. But
which is
I'm
still
still trying to figure
strange,
out. I'm trying to figure out because most houses don't have a balcony on the front. It's only like in the back.
right?
So I
Yeah,
just want to like I don't I just want I'm trying to understand what was really going on. So
right.
hopefully she can make it. Go
But I
ahead.
mean, even if she had, I was going to say, even if she had a little Polaroid or two, what does that have to do with? They're not the police; they're just bloggers. So
You
what
know
is
what,
it?
Cindy? At this point, I would rather at least have a Polaroid than a bunch of made up
Yeah,
stories that don't make no
right,
damn sense. We don't get no answers from. At least we
right.
can see the bus stop. If she has a picture of Cory at the bus stop, maybe he has a picture of Tia picking him up and Tamara was getting out the car trying to talk. Something besides what we've already seen, because right
Right.
now it's a bunch of foolishness.
Right. Yes, it is. But I'm just like, even if okay, so we see a Polaroid of him sitting at the bus stop. Why would you hang on to it for so long?
Right.
If somebody was, like I said, if somebody was in danger or you thought somebody was going to have harm put against them, or especially a minor, then why would you guys come out talking about this now?
I couldn't even see, like, as a 14-year-old, Tia and Tamara pulling up at a bus stop and
Right.
not being excited about it, like not even trying to take a picture with them or something.
Exactly.
Like, it
Exactly.
just doesn't, like, I at this point, that if
Because
she's
they were
30, if she's
stars.
38, she's around my age.
Yeah.
So at 14, she knew who Tia and Tamara was. Well, she knew
Yes.
because she knew who picked them up from the bus stop. So
Right.
why were y'all so freaked out that she picked up Cory from the bus stop and I said about her being them being Tia and Tamara riding down your
Hmm.
block? Why were they even riding down your block? That, like,
Right.
it doesn't make any sense.
No, especially because the way what she described where they were living, that's kind of like the hood. So Tia
Um,
and Tamara driving down, the street in LA, where she was talking about, that's a big deal. Yes, they should
mhm.
have really. I mean, you don't see celebrities in that neck of the woods,
And they're picking up
typically.
some bum at the bus stop.
Well, he
Like,
was he was a cute guy at that point. He was a cute
I'm just
kid.
saying, but Tia and Tamara's riding out, you're picking up bums. I know I can get a
Right,
picture.
right, exactly. Like, what are they doing over here? Yeah,
Right.
because I think from what I can remember, I don't know a lot of their stories, but I think weren't the girls in university? Weren't they at like USC or UCLA or something like that?
I forgot what it was because she was making fun of this college that they went to too.
Okay, was she? So
Yeah,
she just sounds like a straight hater. So basically, you
yeah.
just don't like them at all, Corey or Tia and Tamara. You don't like them, and so now you're using an
Because
opportunity
one of the
to.
girls called in and was mad at her for making fun of that college.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Why? I mean, why was she making fun of it? What was the big
Because she
deal?
went to the University Hampton.
So, what does that have to do with their journey? I mean, they were working. So what? She went to the University
Well,
of Hampton.
that's why
Great.
the girl had called in. Like, I mean, don't make fun of colleges because we didn't go to the one you went to. Pepperdine,
Yeah.
yes, Princess Pepperdine.
Oh, Pepperdine. Okay, that's
Yes,
a beautiful campus. So they went
yeah.
to Pepperdine. They should have gone to a Pepperdine because they had been working since they were babies.
Mhm.
So, the fact that they would even focus on education when they don't really have to, they could have just not gone to college. That's a big deal. You know.
Wait. Protect, protect my energy said interview sounds like it was so puzzling that
Yeah.
Deb is pulling the floor plans. Balcony is usually in the back, not the front. This is starting to get to the first 48. Moesha said account
No.
says, I think that girl really believes what she's saying. She said in another interview that she'd blow up the Super Bowl if Corey played with her. The elevator don't go to the top floor.
What? Did she say that too? That is crazy.
Les
The house is
Leslie said,
so
I'm sorry, love. You don't
bizarre.
know the area or what you're talking about. Tell us. No, they went to Pepperdine. Okay. Okay,
And Pepperdine
we've
is
already
in
been
it,
there. Elite campus, okay. Kiki says she went to Hampton. That's what I said. No, she said the Hampton, the original. That's what she said. She made sure that it was a Pepperdine wasn't shit when it came down to Hampton.
right. So, and again, back to the comment that you're talking about. I've lived in LA my whole life, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the 4 blocks away that of where she lived, and then saw Corey, not where they went to school of. So I don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about though.
She said Inglewood is borderline Ladera Heights, great tax bracket.
No, she didn't say Inglewood though.
She didn't say Inglewood.
She just gave like a street name, so I know
I
where
thought she
Inglewood
said
is.
she didn't live in Inglewood. She actually said she didn't live in Inglewood.
The street name that she gave, I can't recall it now because she was rambling so much.
Mhm.
But she definitely did not say Inglewood because I would have recalled that. And Inglewood, yes, has always been very nice.
Because the girls were
I
making the girls was kind of going off about where she said she was, where she lived at.
uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
she said Hazel. The street is
Did
Hazel.
she say Hazel? I don't, and like I said, it was hard to keep up with her because, like I said, for the most
Yeah,
part, she was practically yelling,
yeah,
and really, she didn't really have much to yell about, you
yeah.
know. But so I'm just kind of like, wherever the bus stop, original bus stop was, doesn't matter. Like, unless you have some proof on what she was
Hold on.
insinuating.
TJ Johnson, no, she was because the girl that came up after she went down was offended about how bad she talked about Pepperdine because she went to
Oh,
school there. So that's the only reason why I even remember this part because that's why they got into the argument.
okay. See, and I dropped off before I even saw an argument. It was just really her and Sean going back and forth,
Yeah.
and really her kind of over talking him, where she was just kind of like, wait, 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 wait. I'm like, you're on his show, lady.
Right. And
I'm
let's
like,
see. Listen, she said she was Inglewood. Listen, it doesn't really matter. This is what happens when we start talking about stuff. You're going way onto a tangent that has nothing to do with anything. What we're talking about is the fact that what she said, she never made any points. She never gave any evidence.
right,
She never gave any facts about anything that was going on. We still don't know why we're hearing these stories about Cory at a bus
right,
stop because she could be in a bus stop. She could have picked him up from a plane, train, bus stop, a taxi cab. It doesn't really matter where she picked him up from. The fact is
right,
that she liked him. It doesn't matter if Tamara liked him first and Tia decided to get with him. The fact is that
right,
he married him, had kids by him, and married him, and dated him for 20 years. Those are the facts of what we know from. The other thing
yeah,
is that she's talking about watching them on a television show about black love and then expecting that to be reality. Listen, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day,
exactly,
she's inserting herself in a divorce and making this man look like he's worse than something that he's not. And the worst
right,
part of it all, if we really want to get down to it, is the fact that she's talking about this man staying with a 16-year-old, and she hasn't pulled out one fact we haven't heard from the 16-year-old. And one thing that you do not do, because I've been through this situation, is that you don't expose anybody's SA or whatever you
right.
thought about it. You let that
That's
person
right.
come out and do that. So that's what we're talking about. If you want to keep up with it, that's what the conversation that we're having is that the conversation that she's having is very inappropriate.
Absolutely, absolutely right. And that's
And
and
those
that
are all
is the
the you
point.
want me to say facts, those are the facts. Everything that I just
Those are the
listed off,
facts.
those are the facts. Where she lived at really didn't matter to us because we weren't even really that wasn't a main part of the conversation. She could have lived in
No,
Timbuktu for all we care. The fact is she picked the boy up from a damn bus stop and it could have been in front of your house. So that's what we're talking
absolutely. Absolutely. And again, once knowing that somebody is going or family is breaking up and going through a hard time right now is not okay for some random person to not have any kind of facts and then insinuate somebody did something wrong 20 years ago when you're just sitting there basically saying what I did get and what is a fact is apparently she does not like that man. Okay, we know that that's a fact as well,
right.
so it doesn't even matter.
And that's fine. Like, and I'm not trying to go off on a tangent, but we've been here for 2 hours. And if you're hearing the last part of it, sometimes you got to go back, rewind
Yeah.
it a little bit so that you have the facts. Because
Yep.
that's not where what street they lived in the zip code and whether it decided if you whether it was in wherever it was, that was not even the main part of this conversation. It wasn't.
No.
No, we have not heard about Cory's life in Chicago and his family. She
No.
said she did say something about there was something, I don't even know if this was her, but somebody was saying something about I think this was her saying something about the 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 parents or somebody one of the parents, the mother's tombstone being different than something that was going on over there. She said a lot of stuff.
Mm,
So
interesting. I mean, so I'm just, but once again, what does that have to do with her? What does that have to do with Kiki?
okay, yeah.
Right?
The room. Oh, that's okay. Just making sure you know the street had nothing to do with nothing. But yes, she did say something about the mother, something about the at the wedding there was a different mother or
Hmm.
something that was on his actual mother's tombstone that he gave or something like that. She said a lot. The reason why we can't remember anything is because she didn't say anything. Nothing connected.
No,
Nothing made
nothing
sense.
connected. No. And nothing was solid. It was
Yeah,
just basically her rambling and then her talking about a story personal to her,
Yeah.
that seemed really traumatic, but it had nothing to do with Cory. And that was the whole point of her being interviewed. I mean, if she wanted to talk about her other experience, then she should focus on that, but don't tie it all together. She really wasn't saying anything.
Well, and let's see, if you said I'm going off from what I initially heard her talking about in the snippets that Storm shared last week when he was ready to drop the interview. She's done 2 other interviews at this point. So whatever Storm dropped, we got a whole slew of other information at this point, because she did an interview a while, and then she just did one with Sean less than 2 hours ago. So she's said more things. So she might have said something that sounds different on this one. We won't know until Storm releases the one. If y'all paying for it, come on back and let us know what it was on, because I'm not paying for it.
No,
But
me neither.
well, I know what she said on Sean's channel today, and we know that she's not even a damn neighbor. She lived 4 blocks away. So
Right.
where she lived at doesn't even really matter. It don't even matter,
Right.
because she didn't even live by the man. She was at the
Yeah.
neighbor's house that lived across the street, and she was on the balcony.
Right.
Peeping
And
in this
again,
man, peeping into her neighbor's house, saying that this man was sleeping on the couch in front of a bed of a 16-year-old whose mother went to work at nighttime. She never said whether the mother knew he lived there or not during the daytime or the nighttime. Like, she did not give enough information. Maybe that's on Storm's interview, and we have to pay. Well, somebody's going to pay to watch it. I'm not paying to watch the interview that this lady has done for 2 other people. Okay.
No.
She gave enough information on Sean's channel today for me to make my decisions off what she said, and what she gave was nothing.
Right.
The only thing she said we're going to see on Storm's interview was that Storm went on Google and looked up the neighborhood, and we could see the bus stop that Tia and Tamara picked him up from. And that we could see the house that was across the street from the neighbor who she was visiting from 4 blocks away.
Right, but
That's
again,
it.
even though that she provided
real quick, she even said that she did not want people to go over to there and pay for something that she ain't really even saying. So
right,
it's like
right,
she kind of downplayed even paying to go see it, because she's basically gave you the cliff notes. So I'm not paying for it.
No.
Trust me, I'm not team lying ass Kiki Green. I knew she wasn't a neighbor. She clout chasing, and I already paid. Well, come back and inbox me, SoDebNair, on Instagram. Let me know if you find something that was different. But right now, I'm just gonna go off what she said today, because she's done 3 interviews within 24 hours. And I don't see that people are comparing the information differently. Nobody's saying, oh, well, she said this on Wally, she said this on Sean's channel. It all sounds like she's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm listening to Wally's show this morning, a replay. She said absolutely clout chasing. She had no tea. Yeah, she didn't have tea on Sean's channel today either. So,
no, she didn't. And that's all we're saying. It's kind of like
coming off hot when you came in, but the street was the last thing we was talking about.
So. Nobody even cared about that. I'm just kind of like, this woman, if you're gonna talk about you have some tea on somebody, you should have some tea. Like that's what we are trying to find out. Like what are you trying to say other than you don't like him? And then now it's even more disturbing, to hear that she said she was going to blow up the Super Bowl if he played. Like this is.
It's not that much tea on him.
Weird.
Like he's not even big enough to blow up a Super Bowl. Maybe like a high school football stadium or something. With a Super Bowl, like he's not even famous enough for that. And Aaliyah, I agree with you, because honestly, had I not been reporting on this, I would have clicked off a long time ago, because I was so tired of the back and forth. The Virgo in me I was so irritated. But I'm just like, I want to go and talk about it, because we've been talking about it. And now that Sean is talking about it, at least I can get some information on what she's saying. She said Storm sent out emails. Refunds are going out at 5. Oh, so he must not. Is he not doing it at all, or is he still the people who are paying for it going to be able to see it?
They probably he probably has to issue refunds because she didn't give any tea, and he kept.
And then she done gave everybody else. She told everybody else all the information.
Yeah, and she kept. A lot of people try to tease information, but that's really also when they have some receipts, and it sounds like, whatever little receipts that she claimed to have gotten, like you said, a picture of a bus stop. Nobody needs to pay for that.
Who cares? She could be showing us any bus stop.
Right. Right. And I'm sure the bus stop looks different than it did 20 years ago. So
right.
It's I mean, it just, to me, it just really speaks to kind of this generation of, how so so focused we are on quote unquote, celebrities. That's all they do is
Right.
act.
Right.
It's not like they're not curing cancer and changing the world. Why is somebody this obsessed over somebody that they saw 20 years ago?
Why are you
I
this
don't get
obsessed
it.
over a bum that you
Over a
classify as
bum.
a bum?
Thank you. Thank
Like
you.
if
Thank
he
you.
was a like I don't remember any bums from when I was 14. I don't. If you was a bum and you came and talked to me today, I was like, oh, I wouldn't remember you because you were a bum. So,
Right.
but why is she so obsessed over the neighborhood bum?
Right. And to the point of where she saw the Black Love thing. If she really disliked
Oh, he
him, like,
canceled it.
oh, he canceled. Maybe because she went on to do two other interviews.
Mm.
So he didn't have anything new to add, right?
Well, thank you for letting us know that. Let's see. So if y'all gonna get refunds and he probably will release it on YouTube. I mean, even if he does, to me, like honestly, what Storm was going to do is something that I would have done. Like I like to produce stuff that I do like that because if it was real information, I
Hmm.
would want to make it. I would want it to come off like professional because of my
Right.
background. Like he said he's been trained by Tasha. Well, he didn't say that, but he's been trained by Tasha K. So he does things a certain type of way. I would
Who
have
is
done the
this
same
person?
thing. Tasha Storm Monroe.
Oh, Storm Monroe. Okay, yeah, I don't watch
Yes,
his
so he's
channel
been trained
either.
by Tasha K. So he wants to do stuff in a certain
Okay.
type of way. I don't think there was nothing wrong with that. Um,
Right.
Kiki just was like, "Do you love me? Are we
Right.
riding?" Because she was ready to let it go, and he was like, "I'm still trying to put it together." You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So
So
I
I
understand.
understand.
Where's that echo
Where's
coming
that
from?
echo coming from?
I don't know.
You're
Is that me?
You're
No,
Yeah, it's
hold
coming
on.
from you.
Yeah, it's coming from you.
Okay. Hold.
All right. But I understand that because I would have, if I do anything like that, if I'm doing an interview like that, where it's like a bigger story, I would love to produce it and make it look good so people can go back, see what we're talking about, things like that. But
Right.
we don't know this lady. And
Right.
right now she's not giving us anything. And he kept saying that she gave some credible facts, but right now it's looking like, well, what did she give you? Because she done told Wiley the same thing. She done told Sean the same thing. And for the people who have seen whatever he has, it looked like it was all the same thing. So I don't understand. Moesha Stan said when she said blow up the Super Bowl, I think she meant stop Rihanna from performing because she said she had tea. Rihanna,
Oh
which had
yeah.
nothing to do with anything. She is a Looney Tune.
She is, but and she did bring up Brianna talking about I know who she was on the phone with and all this. Yeah, but you're not saying anything, so why are you
Right.
even bringing it up? She was like, I know who was in the car with what happened with Chris Brown, and like she
Oh
really
yeah,
was
she did
rambling.
say that.
Remember?
She did say she said the
Remember?
bouncers.
Yeah.
She was talking about her being the R word and
Right.
Brianna and Chris Brown's bouncers taking her to somewhere or something like that. I do remember
Right.
that.
Yeah. So
Protect my
that's
Hatred
how she
says, see
came
my
up.
profile
So
picture. That's what it looks like to be standing at the bus stop sucking on a lollipop. She trying to say that was Cory. And around the way, girl, Tia said, that's the one for me.
yes.
Leslie
And,
said
and
she
so she
mad,
said that was
mad.
the one
She
for
went
her.
on
So
a
what
tangent
difference
about
does it
Tia.
make?
Oh, wait, she said she did do that. I hated this. Leslie said she mad. She went on a tangent talking about Tia Tamara's hair texture. She's
What?
bitter and hateful. She did do that. She really
When did
did.
she do that? In the Sean interview?
On Sean's interview, she did that. She did.
Oh wow.
She was
What
saying that
difference is
no, she was
so
saying
she's
that there's no this remember I was telling you that she was talking about them being mixed.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
And she was saying that no naturally, which that's not even true. But she was saying no full-breeded black woman has hair like that.
That's not true. What is she
She was
talking
saying
about?
that.
She really does sound like a Looney Tune. Okay?
Yeah.
She does.
She
I
said
mean, at
also I
this
believe
point.
she went to paywall. Oh, also I believe he went the paywall route because of the DM received from Cory lawsuit. I believe initially he wanted to protect the channel. Right. We talked about this earlier too. And
Yeah,
what's
we
going on
did.
together? We break Change Productions. Yeah, so we talked about that earlier. But yeah, she I forgot she did that, but she did do that.
Yeah, she did.
She
It's so
is
weird though
I'm
that so
trying to
once
decide if
again
she's mad at Cory or Tia and Tamara.
I don't think I think she's mad at her failed career. I think that she probably liked being in the entertainment industry,
That could
and
be it.
she sounded like she was trying to name drop, and she just sounded like a clout chaser, and it didn't work out for her. So now she's just hating on them because she had a random encounter with knowing that Cory stayed at her best friend's house across the street. Like, who
Yes.
cares?
I mean, it's
That's weird.
the reality is that she's a stalker,
Yeah,
and she
because
should be put.
nobody at that big age that is married, that is happily married with children, would even entertain any of this. They don't
Yeah,
have time.
yeah. I mean, at
So
14,
crazy.
I'm not. If you're peeping through windows, I mean, I do think people do that sometimes at that age,
Right.
but it's out of curiosity. But it's not to
Right.
hold a grudge for 20 effing
Ooh,
years. Y'all
it's
got me
so
cussing.
true. So Deb, that's like somebody that just is. I mean, really, he's taking up rent in her head for free.
For 20
Okay, so
years.
yes, because I'm like, I wouldn't even be thinking about him or Tia and Tamara, to be honest. Especially because she didn't have any contact with him. She had no proof that she had contact with him. That's all she was doing is repeating their story, being like they met at a bus stop, and she was like, "But Tia's a liar." Tia, remember she went on
Yeah,
that
she
for a
kept
minute.
saying that. I'm like, but what did she lie about?
But what did she lie
Well, she
about?
lied about
Yes,
on the Black Love how they met at the bus stop because it wasn't on the set bus stop. It was the corner over here by where I live 4 blocks from.
which is so
Okay, but
stupid.
like if that's the case, why is why does it matter what bus stop she picked him up from? The point is she picked
Right,
him up from a bus stop. Period.
right,
Okay, we
exactly. And
understand.
she's been to
Either way, if
yeah,
you're trying to embarrass them for being picked up from a bus stop, it's embarrassing altogether. If it's embarrassing for people to get picked up from a bus stop, so we get it. The boy was picked up from a bus stop,
right, exactly. And so, Deb, don't you think it's also funny because it's just like it has been 20 years. Maybe she couldn't even remember what the bus stop was. So that
right?
does not make somebody a liar because it's so long ago that you
Cindy,
forget.
why 20 years later, why are you still remembering the bus stop a man got picked up from?
Right, right.
But
It's
you,
so. I
if it
said
was the
that like
fascination, if it was the fascination of Tia and Tamara, I'm telling you, if Tia and Tamara picked up somebody at the bus stop by my house at 14, I'm
right.
going to get the camera out of my house.
You're
I'm
gonna
going to
get
get an
taking
autograph.
pictures.
I'm going to
Yep,
get something out of my house
yep.
because Tia and Tamara was the thing back then.
Absolutely. They were a big deal. They were big stars at that point.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that was at their sister height. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's kind of like yes, you're going to take a picture of that, but it seems like to me she sounds just like a hater and a miserable woman, and I hope that, nothing else comes of this because again, I mean, Cory should have the right to see his kids, and you know how crazy people are by her insinuating that he may not be able to see his children because of this.
Wait. And see, this is what I was saying earlier. And she kept insinuating pedophile vibes and that she turned
Yeah,
out her crush. This is what I'm saying. This is her problem,
wow.
is
This
that
is
she
a
turned out her
problem.
crush. And
That's what we
was it
said.
the boy across the street? Because I
Yeah,
said this earlier.
yeah. That's what we were talking about earlier.
So
So, Deb,
that's what it is that she's mad that Tia or to both of them took her man
right, exactly.
and
But
turned him
again,
into a drug addict or turned him into a pothead or whatever it is.
first of all, nobody can turn you into it.
Exactly. I'm
You
just saying what she said.
yeah, like when she was saying it, I was shaking my head too because I was like, nobody's experience with meeting somebody is going to turn them into an alcoholic or take
Right.
their life or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, everything that she was saying just sounded crazy. She was going off on this weird tangent, like, but once they became friends with him, then then all of a sudden they became these like degenerates basically, and I'm just kind of like, really, really. I mean, I would like one of those boys nowadays that she thinks that is not doing good to get on the line and be like, I'm fine. What are you talking about?
I'm about to put you in timeout. She said, if I drive by you, Debbie, you stand at the bus stop, I'm not picking you up. There is a 20-year ripple effect for doing such things. Busy will air you out on Cindy's channel. Sorry, friend.
Oh, Protect my energy. No, I
Yes.
don't have a channel.
And Candace Lane, she said you're gonna get one to air me out. Candace Lane, it is giving off side chick vibes. This
Yep,
was giving
it
off.
really is.
And
Yep.
I didn't remember her saying that, but that's what I was saying earlier, that it seems like that I'm telling you, she liked that boy that lived across the street from her friend.
Yep, exactly.
And she
And she was
probably wasn't about
probably
to ride
like,
her
what is
bike
going on?
down those 4 blocks during the week time. And she was jealous of Cory being over there. So, and they probably had a good friendship. They was probably playing video games all the time. Cory probably took them
Mhm.
on bus rides all the time. And so she can spend time with him. And it's
Right,
hurt
but
her
then
all these years.
come on, though, so Deb. It's like, you can't, even if Tia and Tamara didn't come in the picture, you can't make somebody like you. So if he rejected her before then, that's not Cory's fault.
But
And why are you
people
still
be
there
holding
holding
on
on
to
to
stuff
it?
like that though.
She said
Rejection,
she's a housewife. So where's
rejection
her
is
husband?
hurtful.
I'm just I, I'm just so confused.
She wouldn't be a
Where's her
housewife for
husband?
Cory. He been
No,
a
I
house
think
husband for a long time.
yeah, but I think she liked that 16-year-old that she said because she was 14, so she probably liked the
Well,
16-year-old.
what is he doing now? Like, do we have a backstory on what
Right,
he's doing?
right. I don't. She hasn't even talked to. But once again, whatever his experience is, it's his story to tell. I do agree with you there.
Right,
I really feel like even if he wanted to say, yeah, he was my roommate for a year or so, that's still his story. That's not her
right,
story. What does that
right.
have to do with her? She needs to again focus on topics that have to do with
I
her
don't
and
think
her
she
life.
liked the 16-year-old. I think she liked Cory. That's why she has so much energy towards Tia and Tamara and
Maybe.
Cory. Because she's not attacking, she's acting like she's trying to protect the 16-year-old.
Uh,
And
but
she's
still,
and
that's weird.
And it's even now that I'm even saying this out loud again, she was 14 and he was 16 and Cory was 20.
Yeah.
Why
Hmm.
are you in 16-year-old's business?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And like I said way earlier too, unless the boy confided something in her, what is she even talking about? She has nothing to
Right.
talk about, you know? So
It's not even strange for a 16-year-old and a 19, 20-year-old to hang
no.
out.
Nope. I mean, we see it all the time, especially nowadays. These kids are glued to their electronic devices. So they're
Yeah,
probably playing video games and some stuff like that. And he was probably trying to pass the time until he could get his like little break, and
yeah.
his break turned out to be Tia, to be honest,
Right. They treated her
you
like
know.
mean girls. You can't sit with us.
Exactly. Exactly.
She said he's doing bad because Cory was a bad influence. Shake my head. But when they asked her, did she still talk to him? She said no. So she thought he was doing
Right.
bad back then. Right now, she has no idea what he's doing.
Exactly. And like I said, just moments before, it doesn't matter what Cory could have quote unquote influenced him to do. You can't force somebody or turn somebody into something that they weren't. Like
Right,
that the boy had a choice. So,
right. And even like
because he
Moesha
didn't agree
Stan
with it.
said, whoever she is, she's giving off hate and vibes from outside the club
Yep.
vibes when she can't even get in.
Right.
So I added that last part for you because I thought it just went. It just went there. 20 years later, she's
Right.
still trying to get into the club and she can't get in.
And she can't get in. Once again, that club rejection, it
Yeah.
cuts deep. Cuts deep, so
Rejection
Deb.
does hurt though, y'all. So
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand it. 20 years later, probably not, but I
No.
do understand it at the beginning.
Right. I mean, and to be that angry still, so Deb, like she was super angry. Like
Yeah.
it just happened. When I was just kind of like, oh, you
The way
mean
she talking, it sounds like it did just happen.
yes.
It's not like she
And for
still ride
her,
down that street and go to her friend's house across the street where the 16-year-old used to live at and peep through the window to find out if Corey's coming back because he's a bum.
I mean, it's just giving not all there,
She didn't say that on Sean's channel that she got an update. And if she did, we heard the update, but we still didn't get whatever the update was. It still didn't make any sense because none of us knows
No.
what it is. So
No,
And
what she
she's
said
promising,
on
now
Sean's
she's
channel.
promising, if she's going to promise Wally an update, she's promising Sean for the girl that lived across the street to come over there. She is doing a lot.
She's doing a lot for nothing, though. For
Yeah.
nothing. You know? I mean, the girl that lived, her best friend that lived across the street, she can come on all she wants, but if she's not going to say anything other than, yeah, I saw him living there too, then they could say that.
Right.
You
But
know,
where
like,
is
we
the
don't care
proof?
about that. Proof.
Are you going to bring the pudding? Because that's where the proof is at.
Right. Exactly. It's so true. I mean, other than that, don't go on, three different platforms saying the same stuff. There is no
Yeah.
follow up.
And even if you are, like, at least tell the same freaking story and
Yes.
give the facts about what you're talking about and stop rambling and rumbling and fumbling all over the damn place.
Or just being awkwardly quiet.
Yeah,
Every
like it
time
just,
Sean asked her a question straight up, she couldn't answer it. She would just be quiet.
I would too,
So,
because she probably don't remember what the lies that she told from the last two interviews.
which is also sad. It's like, come on, really,
Yeah.
lady? I mean, it's just
Now
kind of
you
like,
stuck in this whirlpool of lies you done told. And now
right.
you got to remember the shit that you done said on all three of these. You should have just stuck with Storm and let it go.
Yep. Yep. That's right. But
Because
again,
honestly, had she stuck with Storm, people would have believed her probably.
yeah, I think so too. But again, she was saying that, her followers were so unhappy. But have we
Because they had
seen
to pay
any follow-up?
$6.
Yeah, for
She
something
could
that
have
she said that she
she
talked
could have
about
did a
years
members
ago.
only on her own damn channel to tell them what she told Storm, and they could have canceled the $6 out.
Right. But no, but she said, remember, she was shadow banned, so she doesn't get enough traffic, which is
But she's
probably
talking
why
about,
she
but
is
I'm saying
looking at
she said
numbers.
her members, so her members watch her. She could have told the story on her
Oh,
channel.
she
She
did. She said she
actually,
did.
I
She
was
said
gonna
she
say
did tell the
she
story.
said on Sean's channel that they already know the story. So
Yes.
then, what was the
Mhm.
problem?
Right. Right. Well, now she's once again, I think the problem is that, she saw an opportunity to, be negative and to whine and cry for attention, and that's what she's doing.
She
You
got the
know,
attention now.
she finally got it.
Yeah,
She finally got it off of somebody else's pain and grief. Like,
yeah.
it just that it's just horrible that people can, anybody can come out of the woodworks and just
Tell any
claim
story.
something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just tell a
But you know what?
story.
It's also good that we are in a space in 2022 where you have people who have educations and who don't just go for anything to sit on the live and say, you know what, but this doesn't make any sense. And I don't believe this. And this girl can go to everybody's platform as long as she wants to. But until the story starts storying, we're not listening to the story because
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. She's went
No.
to 3 people. She has, now I'm talking about, there's other people that's probably talking about it right now as well.
Yeah.
Nobody has made a story on YouTube saying that this makes any sense.
Nope. At all. Nobody.
Even when Conscience talked to Storm about it, there was never any indication that she said anything that made any sense.
Yep. Exactly. And
So
again, like I said, whatever follow up she could provide, nobody's really interested in, because she's already made herself, look horrible. She came across, and, I mean, this was hours ago now. Like, I mean, my message that I sent to you, I meant it. I don't like her. I still don't
yeah.
like her. So, and I hate a liar. So, unless you're going to say, what something really is and actually answer a question, I hope she just fades into, I don't even want her to get 15 minutes. 5 is too long.
I'm gonna tell you now,
5 minutes.
if the lady who live across the street goes to Sean's channel and don't show up like in person, like with a visual,
Right.
I'm not believing it, because
No.
we've seen what she looks like. So I
Yep.
want to see who this person looks like. But then also, how long is it going to take to get this interview? Are you coaching her right now to say what you needed to say? Because
Exactly.
right, like she's missing the mark with this conversation, and she wants people to believe it, because
Yep.
now we have to wait for however long it is for her to come to Sean's channel. And she could have went on while I was on live, and I'll take it back if she did. But if
Right.
we don't see this within the next 24 hours, even if I see it in the next 24 hours, I'm like, well, they're probably sitting around talking about what she's going to say.
Exactly. Which is not, I mean, that's why, Tasha K got sued. You can't just sit there and make stuff up. You can't,
Right.
and
And
make
there's
it
no
try to
way
be a fact.
possible that your family doesn't have any pictures of you in front
Right.
of that damn house.
Exactly.
I'm
Well, they
sorry.
wouldn't have pictures of her in front of the house because she didn't live there. Her best
No, I'm
friend
talking
did.
about the neighbor that's supposed to be coming on Sean's channel
Oh, the
next.
neighbor. Okay.
Yes, because the neighbor that lives across the street was the one who's supposed to be calling in. So I want to
Okay.
see what the house looks like. I want Storm to match up what that house looks like from what he's talking about. Because if it doesn't, then it doesn't make any sense. Because
That's
everybody
true. But
understand if
so,
you
Deb,
lie, you're
do we
wait.
even
Because everybody
believe her
understand
at
if
this
you
point?
lie, you're still. If you're still, you kill. See, Dad, this really is about to be the first one.
The first 48.
You know it's the Virgo in me. I'm going to overanalyze this whole entire situation because it doesn't make
Right.
any sense.
No, it doesn't. But even again, do we even at this point believe this lady when she said that she was calling me this whole time? Was a phone
No,
ringing? Did we see what I'm saying?
because
Like
all
she
of a
could be
sudden when
saying,
you call her back, now she's at work and she can't answer the
right,
phone. Like
right.
what are we doing here?
What are we doing? And
She been
it
calling
was
you for
only
30 minutes.
because
She only had a 30-minute break. We get
right,
hour breaks now. I'm sorry. No, I'm not believing that.
right. No, but so Deb, but didn't you say that it was when Sean was trying to wrap up the interview, then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, miraculously, the
No,
friend had been
but
calling?
she said that she just looked at her phone and the girl had been calling her for 30 minutes. And so then she
Oh,
was like,
please.
let me text her back.
Come on.
And then she was like, well, let me drop down so I can call her back. Let me tell you something. If I don't, it don't matter what job you're at. If you was trying to call in, you knew that
Right.
she was going to call you back at some point to defend whatever she was saying. You would have called back, period.
Yeah. Yep.
You would have went outside, like I go to the bathroom, I go to my car real quick, whatever, and gave you a piece and then got the hell off. But she
Right.
never called back. Like it was like, I mean, we weren't asking her for a damn big bibliography about the man. We were just trying to get
Right.
facts about what was going on, what you were
What
saying
was
that,
going on that
yeah,
that
that's
you
it.
brought up?
She already
That
told
you
us the
explained.
story. Just
Yeah.
confirm what she was saying about living across the street, having a balcony, peeping into the man's window, so we can move on.
Right. You can also tell that she's not stable by even admitting that she was peeping in.
Peeping
Like
in the
who
window.
even says that? I would
Right.
never even say that.
I would have never admitted that.
No, never. It's just crazy.
It
She's
seems creepy.
Yep. Yes, it's
And
giving
now
very
you're a
much
stay-at-home
creepy.
mom. You got 24 hours a day to peep through people's windows.
Right. And she said that. She was just like, I'm a housewife, I have nothing but time.
Yeah,
And I'm just kind of like, okay, but you still have to have some facts, lady. You can't just I don't care how much
right.
time you have. You don't need to be wasting our time with no tea, basically.
She needs to be registered as a peeper.
Right. How about that?
A peeping Tom.
Right. And again, these are real people with real families. The fact that she's out there, perpetrating some sort of narrative of, about something that is really horrible, even though she's not talking about herself as it pertains to Cory, you know, I would never want to do that. If she has since she does have a family of her own, how would she feel if some random person that didn't really know her claimed this stuff about her or her husband?
Cindy, it's even bigger than that. Doing that and then going onto these platforms who have
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of subscribers to
Yes.
listen to her lie or tell these stories about somebody who she doesn't even have the facts on, and now there's speculations about her family. Like, turn the tables around.
That's what I just said. How would she like it if somebody did that to her?
She went to 3 channels who have over. Well, I think Sean doesn't. I think she went to Stormy. I know he has over 100,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow. See,
Let me look.
that's not right.
Or Stormy
And
Road.
I, so again, I am kind of now siding even more with Cory because it can really,
Stormy Road
damage
has
somebody's life.
220,000 subscribers.
Oh wow.
Let's
That's
look at
crazy.
Wally. Wally has 28,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And then Sean has 89,000 subscribers.
Wow.
All those
So
people that
almost
you just
100.
exposed this story to.
Exactly. Expose a non-story,
Yeah.
It's kind of like the non-twin twins. She's like
Yeah,
the storyteller. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, what
Where's
is your
Brooke when you
story?
need her?
Right. Right. I mean, it's just crazy. It really is. And again, that's what I hate about having all of our electronics at our fingertips. It's like,
Yeah,
maybe take a moment to calm down before you start, you know, going on a rant about somebody, because it's they're real people,
yeah,
and there could be have real consequences, and you don't know, especially when if somebody's in a dark time,
yeah,
what your words, or you hiding in the bushes could do to somebody,
yeah.
and just
And if you
because
don't think
Tia
about
is
anything
putting.
else, if you don't think about anything else real, they have real children.
Yes, that's right. So, Deb, and I was just gonna say, and even though Tia is, putting on a happy face and smiling and showing strength, we don't know what her or Corey are going through, nor should we. So, why would you just add on to what's happening? This has
Right,
got to be difficult to be with somebody for so long and then have to separate, to untangle that.
right,
And for all we know, this could have been going on for months, and they just announced it. We don't know. Not we don't
right.
know enough of anything about their personal life, and nor should we. But I would definitely not want this person
Oh, hold on,
on the
sorry.
platform. If she
Right.
if she, so Deb, if she contacts you, just say nope. We got the story, because you don't need this.
I'm
You
like,
don't need
I
this
already heard it.
trouble.
You done told it 3 times. How many more times do you need to tell it?
Exactly. Yeah, but you
But
don't need those
Princess
issues.
knows. Look, it says Wally has 28,000 and 100 subscribers. And then let's go to Storm Monroe. He has 220K. And then
Wow.
Sean Davy Way, he has 89,000 subscribers. So you've shared this story to all these platforms
Right.
and told nothing. But out of all them subscribers, there are people who took your story and went home and believed it.
Yep, that's right. And then they're going to be spreading it amongst other
Yep.
people. And that's
Yep.
what the problem is.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Hmm.
And that's when it becomes dangerous, because people do, for whatever reason, take these, like I said, these normal
She
people
did.
who just happen to make a living acting.
She did. Let's see. And I'm
I'm
gonna tell you
sorry.
something. Everybody who she tried to bring Missy up with, nobody let her tell that story.
Right.
Like not one person. Storm said he had to cut the Missy stuff out. I don't know about Wally because I don't know anybody who even recap what Wally did, and Sean was not trying to hear it. So nobody has even told it, and I would not want to hear it
No. And also, what does Missy have to do with anything?
with this story. Like, oh my god,
With her story.
yes,
She's brought in Puffy, she's brought in Chris
Puffy,
Brown and Rihanna, she's brought
yeah,
in Missy. What does
hey, the
this
candy
have to
shop,
do with that story? Hey,
nothing.
hey, Candy Shop.
It just seemed like she want to go around telling her stories. But right,
Yes,
but
but
go to
then
your
just
channel, but
but
make
then
a
do
channel
your
to tell your
yes. I
story.
was just about to say that. Then start a celebrity news reality channel or whatever. Like whatever. Do that on your
Yeah.
platform. But and also don't do that on any platform, hers included, if she doesn't have any receipts. Nobody wants to sit there and
I
hear
mean, at least go down
made up
by
stories.
yourself. At least go down by yourself, though. Like, don't
Yes,
try to take everybody else down with you.
agreed. Yeah, I agree. But
Because I
again,
mean, the reality is that she wants to tell the stories because she already done told them. To be honest,
yeah,
and had Stormy or Wally or Sean been messy, the stories would have been out there. But they
yeah.
and she kind of already told part of the Diddy story.
Yes, she did. But then
We heard
also,
it.
where is the proof of that? If that happened so many years ago, hopefully she reported it and she got help for it. And it doesn't sound like she did either, So
Yeah, I don't
don't
think that
talk
she
about it.
did. I don't think
Yeah.
that she
So
did.
right. So once again, you can't just get up on on these really large platforms and just run your gums about stuff that you claim have happened, and you have no proof of nothing. Especially as a person, the thinnest veil that she had for Corey. I'm sorry, the thinnest veil that she had was Cory's, and that was supposed to
Right.
be the main thing that she was supposed to be there to talk about. So if you
Right.
can't talk about that, why are you talking at all?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, y'all,
That's it.
we almost been on for 3 hours talking about this, and
Yes.
this was therapeutic for me. Was it for you?
Was it? Yeah. I just feel like I was trying to get clarity, and now I've gotten more clarity than listening to her interview. And I think we all
Yeah.
agree that something is wrong with this woman.
Yeah.
And so I think, at this point, we've given her probably more attention than she deserves.
Yeah.
So let's hope that we can all just move on and then let them deal with their private divorce,
Problems themselves.
problem. Just like it's not right to do that. Unless something really bad did happen to her.
Right.
So and being rejected
And if
is not
something
enough.
bad happened to her, I could understand that. But then
Yes.
we need to see, we need to know what, we need to see the proof of it
Yeah,
at this point, because you are right now, you look like a liar.
absolutely. And unhinged. She seems unstable,
Yeah.
you know, not just a liar, because
Because
I
she
didn't
went on
understand.
talking about black women and she cussed out black women like right after that.
Did she?
She cussed that girl clean the F out. That was up because she went down and tried to call that girl.
Oh, you
And
see?
then when the girl came up, she was like, well, it just seems like, she was one of the kids in the neighborhood that Cory didn't want to play with. And she came up and called her all type of B words and everything. So the
Okay,
black
so
women
now,
story went out the window.
right. So clearly she has, it sounds like, some self-esteem problems, that she's worried about Tia and Tamara's hair, and, you know,
Them being
black
black.
women in gender.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like she has some issues that she needs help with.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. So I'm glad that you had a little bit of therapy.
Because I mean, like I said, I just went on the other day just saying, maybe we should have a little compassion for the both of them. And then this comes out. So I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I know I made no video for no damn reason. So
Yes,
I was pissed when I
I
woke up this
know.
morning. And so I'm
Right.
getting on trying to figure out what's going on. And I see Storm talking about it. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not really saying nothing on Conscience channel. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just let it go. And then I'm getting ready for my sister's review. And then she's on Sean's channel. And so I'm like, well, let me hear what she's saying. Maybe it's going to be enough time for me to still do my review. And it went on for like 3 damn hours. And I'm like, I can't do the review right now because I want to hear the entire thing. I want to see if there's something that I can pull from this that makes sense. And I got nothing.
Nothing.
Like
I got
not one
nothing as
thing.
well. I
Besides
got
that she
nothing as
thinks that
well.
he's a bum and she hates bums.
Right. She does. And we're allowed to not like who we don't like. We
Yeah.
absolutely are, but we also don't need to get on anybody's platform and talk about it either. How about that?
And not
How
only
about try
somebody's,
that?
but 3 different platforms.
Right. Right. 3 different ones. And the whole thing was just really weird and bizarre. And it's unfortunate that this comes out, for people,
Yeah.
especially if they're going through a hard time. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
This doesn't help,
This
especially
adds on
when
to
there's
the
no proof.
stress of him because I mean he's on social media blocking people.
Yes, exactly.
So
Exactly. I mean, I feel like, once again, just the divorce side of it, for whatever reason, um puts him in a bad light because she's leaving him.
yeah,
So I think most people's opinion is that it's something wrong with him,
because the
and
woman
that
left
may
the
not
door.
be and that may not be the truth.
Yeah. It really
Especially
could be that
since,
they just grown apart.
yeah, it really could be that,
All
you
divorces are
know.
not bad.
Mhm. And also they can remain friends, and they should, because they have 2 small children,
Right.
like, they need to be around each other for a lot more years,
Right. Right.
so I mean, they should be able to be mature enough at their age to separate, you know and not have it be negative.
Protect my. You need to log off. She said it's not right, nor is it okay. Crack is whack and Snickers have nuts in them. Since you're attempting to decipher her brand, decipher mine.
Oh man. I don't know. It's so weird. Protect my energy. Girl. We spent 3 hours trying to decipher hers and we couldn't.
We tried. We really did try.
We really did try. Poor Whitney has been drug up like the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Everybody's stuff is on Whitney's. It's not right, but it's okay.
Yeah. So, y'all, I
Anywho,
think I'm going to go ahead and do my sister's review after this because I really want to get it out the way.
what is
So,
Sisters, so Dad?
huh?
What is Sisters?
It's a Tyler Perry show.
Okay. Okay. Where
He had.
where is it?
I really wanted to review it because one, I've watched it from season one, but two, yesterday I just thought his rollout for the promotion of that was so freaking amazing. He had all the housewives from Potomac, Portia, Tammy, Remy Ma, Little Mo, Tamar. I mean, he had all the Angela Yee. They had live yesterday, like 30 minutes before the show started to promote the show.
Wow.
I
To
thought,
promote
what
the
an
show, or
amazing rollout.
was it a premiere, like a premiere event?
Yeah, the season 5 started yesterday.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So 30 minutes before it went on, all these people went live. Reginae and her mother, Lil Wayne's daughter, and his ex-wife, Toya, Tiny, and Zanique. Like he had
talking about the show.
Talking about the show. It was like my whole Instagram live was like the top floor was filled up for like at least a minute long.
Wow. That's okay. I might need to have to check it out. It sounds like, I guess.
I was telling some of my friends earlier today. I was saying that people didn't like it from season 1 because it did start off a little slow, and it's a Tyler Perry show too. To be honest, Tyler Perry,
I'm not into his shows really.
Yeah, it's hard to get in some of his shows. A lot of his shows, most of the shows. And this one is no different, to be honest. But I do like the characters. There's a girl. Her name is Fatima. Her real name is Crystal something. I can't think of her real name. I'll think about it later. But I love this story for them because Crystal was Tyler Perry's. He was either she was either his assistant or his
like an intern or something.
Stylist.
Oh,
it was one of the two.
Really?
I can't remember which one. Yes, and so she came in and filled in a role like a side B, like a Z-line role.
Wow.
And she called him and she said, "I think I really want to get into acting." Tyler Perry created a whole role for this girl.
Oh, I love to hear stuff like that.
Now she's a main character, but not only that, she now has a spinoff from the show.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
Yes.
Can you imagine? I mean, just like so many people dream of that. You know what I mean?
Something like that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So because off the strength of that, like, I'm just like, I really want to review the show because like, I know I give Tyler Perry a lot of shit and a lot of flack. But to me, that story was like so amazing to me because I'm like, what boss does that for anybody?
Yes. And especially Black folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying to take you down, not take you up.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. I mean, okay, so that's what channel does it come on?
It's on BET.
Okay, so I have BET Plus. Maybe I can watch.
Oh, Zatima is on BET Plus.
What is it?
Zatima is the spinoff show. That's only on BET.
Oh, that's a spinoff. Okay.
Yeah, but Sisters, I think the season 1 through 4 is on BET Plus.
Okay. All right. 4. Gee whiz. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can get through. But yeah. Okay. So I don't want to hold up your review because I know it's late your time. Do you want to?
I'm not gonna start till 11:00 my time.
Okay.
I like to start at an even number. We almost at 10:30, so I'm gonna start at 11. Excuse me. Somebody said the first scene, the lawyer lady has a sticky note attached to her purse. It made me angry. What? I gotta watch it. I gotta go back and look at it. But yeah, y'all. So at 11:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm gonna go ahead and do my sisters review. Nobody watches it, so it's going to be kind of good because it's going to give people an opportunity to experience the show without watching it. And hopefully, maybe y'all go back and watch the show because the show is good. The show is good. It's a Tyler Perry show, though, So it's good for a Tyler Perry show. But again, the reason why I'm supporting it is because off the strength of the Crystal character, the Lady
Yeah,
Crystal, because
that's
that
an
was the
amazing
best story I've
story.
ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. Literally, he changed her whole life. Like, she probably went to training and school for what she got
Yeah,
hired to do, and
yeah,
then saying, hey, I kind of like this. That
yeah,
that that's a life-changing event that happened to her. That's amazing.
yeah. And like now they're the main storyline on the show.
Wow, that's amazing. I can't. Yeah, I will definitely tune in so I could see what it's all about because I don't even know who. I don't know these people at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
because they're
okay.
all. I think they're all. I didn't know any of the actors before the show started.
Okay.
I do know Beyonce's cousin plays the receptionist at one of the girls' hair salon on the show, and I
Really?
learned. Yes, I learned that last night watching Portia and Candace. I was like, I did not realize that was Beyonce's cousin. I knew her name, but I
Uh-huh.
never I never seen her before. And
Oh,
then
wow.
because Portia was telling the story about how she knew the lady who plays Karen because before she got on the Housewives, they had got contracted to work on a show together, but the show
Mm,
never got greenlit.
that is amazing.
And then they stayed on while I think they stayed on for like the first 15 minutes of the show.
Uh-huh.
And the lady, the Beyonce's cousin, she plays a lady named Pam. And when
Uh-huh.
Portia said, I'm like, I do know that is Beyonce's cousin.
Does she look like Beyonce?
No, 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 no. She look like Beyonce.
Okay.
But I've seen her because when Beyonce like went solo, she was Beyonce's assistant. But I never
So
put two and
she
two together.
helped, yeah, helps her out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? She should.
I might try to catch up. I watched the first couple of seasons.
And then tapped out. Oh yeah. I hate to say it. I feel like that on most Tyler Perry productions.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if you've seen this on Amazon. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. So Deb is the or no, it's on Netflix. The Jasmine's Blues was a really good movie. It was a Tyler
I
Perry.
have not watched that. I've heard
I
about it.
It
People
was
said it's the best thing
really
they've done,
good.
but I never watched it.
Okay, yeah, it's with unknowns as well. Like I didn't know any of the main cast members, but it was surprisingly good. I was just kind of like, what? You know?
Yeah.
But okay, so let's
Hey, Miss
see
Robin.
about yeah. Hey, Miss Robin. Yeah, let's see about this the sister show. Okay.
If not, I'm gonna try to hype y'all up about it because I do. I mean, I do enjoy watching it. I hate the repetitiveness of the line. Sometimes they're like, "Can you get up, please? I'm about to get up. Can you get up now? I'm about to get up. I'm getting up, but I'm about to go now. Like we need to go now.
Oh
I'm trying to get
no.
up. Like it's a Tyler Perry script.
Oh no. Ugh.
So
I'm already going to tell you, I probably will not enjoy that. Let's see how much I can get through. I'll probably just stick with. I'll probably, if you continue to review it, I'll probably just stick to your reviews.
because you don't have to watch those.
Right, right. Because I don't want to. I don't want to hear that back and forth like that. No.
It's torturing because he
Eh,
also has a spin off of that called Bruz.
Oh no, not
And
bros. Okay.
that's the worst one.
No, it's all on BET Plus.
The Bruz is only on BT Plus.
Okay. And how long has that been on?
I think they're on season 3, but with Tyler
Oh
Perry
wow.
on BT Plus, a season can be like 21 episodes.
Oh no, I can't do it. That's too big of a commitment. You know what I mean? Like I need to have the breakup, like basketball wise. Do a do a mid season break because I that's too much. That's too much TV.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry, where's the edit button?
It's where's the
Please.
writers to protect my energy is right. He needs right to hire writers. Now I did see him talking about this. He said that he did try to use writers, but he said the stuff that the writers was on, his views went down. He said because
Oh,
people like his writing. I'm like, who the likes that writing?
I don't get it. I never have.
I'm like, it's
Never.
almost like he just repeats the same shit over and over again. And it
Wow.
gets irritating after a while. Because even when I was watching The House of Pains, I love The House of Pains. But like this last season, Tyler Perry has gotten so lazy. Like the whole episode is in one house, and they're repeating the same thing the entire. I can't watch it anymore.
Oh
I can't.
no.
Y'all sit in the
Yeah,
same. Y'all don't even go to a different house, repeating the same shit.
yeah. That's no good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just checked for you. So Deb, you have 100 likes, and right
Oh,
now
do
we're
I?
at six. Yeah, and right now we have 61 people liking. So thank you everybody that hit the like button. So when you first started your live, all of those people
Sure
still
did.
chimed in.
Thank y'all so much for us hitting at 100 likes. I put it up there. I wanted 100 likes, and I think I got to speak it into existence. Um,
Yay!
Thank y'all so much for hitting those. In 30 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and do my sister's review. Hopefully, it's not going to be long. It's probably going to be long because I'm going to try to take you guys on a journey about the characters back because most of y'all ain't watched this. So y'all gonna know what I'm talking about if I don't do it. So I'm going to try to explain the characters while I'm doing the review. This is probably going to be the longest one I do, and then from here on out, I'm going to keep going.
That's great. And so Deb, I wanted to ask you too, because you said this and I can't find it. You said please comment in the comment section. Where is the comment section?
So it's underneath the video. So hold on, I'll show you.
Okay. Because every time I try to do it, no additional window shows up.
Oh my God, I hate this keyboard. And this is for anybody. I think people don't. I think you're not the only person who doesn't understand what that means.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many comments? Like nobody ever comments in it.
Right, because I can't find it. I think that's what it is.
Like how many comments? Like nobody's. Oops. There you go. Okay, so it's right here.
Let's see. I
Wait.
can't. So not to the right where the chat is. So way underneath there.
Hold on. Let me go to another video because.
Okay.
Let me go to another video. So it's right here, the comment section.
Oh, there. I was going to say, but when I try to pull it up, I swear I don't see an area for me to enter a comment.
I'm assuming, can you not do it while I'm live on a computer?
I don't know.
Because that's odd. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I was going to say, let me check. When I hop off of here, I'm going to try to test it again and see if it pops up for me. Because like I said, I've scrolled all the way to the bottom and there's not a little window for me to enter a comment. So
Yeah, it
that's
looks like
probably why
it
people
looks like
can't
for
do
my
it.
phone when I'm live, you can't do it. So yeah, it has to be after the video's over, I guess.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I
for
think I've
anybody
gone
else who's
in.
ever had that question, the comment section is always it's underneath the video. It's right here. It says add a comment. So when we say comment in the comment section, this is where the comment section is at. And so
Okay. I have
thank
to
you,
go take
Pam,
a look.
Tiffany, Sarah, Joy, Winnie, and BJ Des for y'all's comments on the last video.
Okay. That's amazing. All right.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
go
Chris
take a
is.
look.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. So we always have a good time.
Yes, we always have fun. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And I'll be tuning in from the bushes when you
Okay.
when you get back on.
Okay.
Have a good night, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye, Cindy. Let me see. When the video posts, you can post comments underneath the video, Cindy. Okay, so I did not know that. And I've been stopping my lives for y'all to do that. And ain't not one of y'all that told me. Y'all are some horrible mods. I'm unmodding all of y'all. Now we're doing a live after the live post comment section. It's not our chat though. I'm confused. Is that not in our chat? No, the chat does not make the comment section. And for instance, no, it's not the same. My big sister, no, not the same. Okay, cool. So y'all, I'm jumping off. I'm gonna grab me a sandwich really quick. Refresh my drink. I already have all my stuff set up. I'm about to read. Matter of fact, well, I'm here right now. So y'all can't say, I didn't even know. I thought it was tomorrow. All right, I just changed the time to 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time. So that's in 25 minutes at this point. So go ahead and refresh y'all's drink, get y'all something to eat. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to review Sisters. I'm going to try to make some new fans out of y'all. Okay. I do appreciate again my girl Cindy for coming up here. Thank you for everyone who has sent me super chats, sent me Cash App, sent me PayPal, sent me Zelle this month. You guys have no idea how much that stuff has meant to me this month because I have been off all month, to be honest, because I have not been feeling well. Oh, wait, I didn't know you were going to go live tonight. I'm going to wait till... Princess, are you still here? I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I didn't know she was going live tonight because I would not have went live. Okay, I'm gonna change it back to tomorrow night at 7, y'all, so that I'm gonna go join Princess. So tomorrow night 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to do the review for Sisters. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do my review tomorrow because I didn't know she was going live, and I need to go to bed because I got to work tomorrow. So join me tomorrow 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel, and we're gonna do our Sisters live review. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna get in bed and come over there. So thank y'all so much again. I definitely enjoyed this, and we're gonna definitely keep up with this story, y'all, as it continues to unfold. Until next time, bye, y'all.
Did it, I 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 did it, you did it, I did it, you did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it.